again, we're going to
Here we
see it
go.
first saved on the side of Vision Esports, and we now run into the problem. If Reason use the instant ban on Deadpool, Elsa gets through, or Gambit gets through. So it's sort of like a Sophie's choice of instant bans.
We'll see
as
where
we see
after-
Reason continue the Elsa, but Vision actually mix things up. They're going to go for the Gambit, as they've spotted out that Reason's whole composition identity was tied to Gambit value. But that does free up the Elsa save from the side of Reason, so we do actually get to see her hunt on the streets
Dude.
of Midtown at least once today.
Let's see.
I mean, you're giving a team that has 3 duelists, realistically. And like Ballas, Simba, you're giving them Elsa. It's a risk, but you're right. Like, maybe it is just something to try to, like, throw them through a loop, really, because Gambit, it's not only like his individual strength, but how he synergizes across multiple like characters and compositions. Everything else mostly going to be the same. A one-sided Gambit versus a one-sided Elsa, but Loki is not going to be allowed from either team.
I mean, not only that, but how often do you think teams are actually getting access to Elsa in scrims? If
that
she's
is
the
true.
go-to instant ban, not only are you pushing them out of the comfort zone, you're also probably pushing them onto a composition that they've had very little scrim time. The only way I would imagine you would get away with it would be if you went into a scrim with the agreement of, hey, can you leave Elsa open? We want to be able to practice it. As Vision have spotted the substitution, and I really like this. If it would have been Reason going for a triple strat line by bringing one of their duelists in,
Instant
who
lock
they have been playing? Well,
DP.
probably Mantis, which means that Vision, despite already taking out the Loki, remove the Mantis as well.
Ooh.
So you got to protect here. That could be something along the lines of like, yeah, one-sided Deadpool. It's not really going to be a ban on the Daredevil. You're going to try and isolate maybe some of the other strategists full stop because you've already taken out 3. But Magneto's going to be removed from the equation too. So less comfort, I suppose, for DRP. But that's not really the DRP's got so much more flexible with the characters that he's playing. He has hovered over the Emma Frost, and I think out of all of the Vanguards that he plays, how likely
Dude, look
is it
at
that
all
we
these
see that
animations.
more? I think Angela or something would be
Holy
and Venom
shit.
as well would be more on par.
I mean, would you run the Emma if you're on attack of Midtown and you're anticipating something like a dive? Potentially, since you can literally have the Emma get to play on the objective itself. Vision, even if they do go for dive, would have to commit at some point to the objective, allowing the Emma to play within her distance and go for things like the Carbon Crush, because that's sort of the fall off, the mortality of the Emma Frost, right? She's not a threat level when
Y'all
she's
can hear the
in a
audio on
different
the
era
TikTok,
of the
right?
fight, and so many heroes in Rivals
Hold on.
can just outpace her. They can take a fight in an entirely different position, and by the time the Emma gets into a distance to be able to help out, they're already gone. Like
Let me
the
see, hold on.
Venom, the Angela. If you're really good at playing your mobility
Okay, you
and
guys
soft
can, you
dives,
guys can,
you
you
should
guys can.
never be getting caught out by a Carbon Crush.
So we're starting off already with a pause. I think on the side of like Vision. I think I'm just sort of looking for like, again, we saw like in the last game that there was just this like maybe 1 or 2 like non-mirrored characters, but here there's just like a boatload. You've got
If you guys want the
Elsa,
drops, I am live
Daredevil,
over
and
on my Purple
Deadpool
app.
Vanguard on the
It is
side,
in the
available
link
for Reason Gaming. And then on the other,
in
like,
my
Vision
bio.
have Mantis. They protected Rogue, but it wasn't banned out, so it's not one-sided. They lost Mag, they lost Gambit even. It's like a weird mix, I think, for both these teams to try to adjust to each other.
Yeah, and I mean-
banned on both sides was Loki.
Yeah. It's still a problem.
He's always going to be a problem, okay? Like, Loki is one of, if not the best strategist.
Hell yeah.
Some would argue even more
Glaze
problematic
him.
than the Gambit.
Glaze
because of the
him.
Regeneration domain. And
Yeah.
he can be Gambit with his ultimate. But something to very quickly touch on as well is that Mantis ban has also impacted Reason's ability to play the Ultron and the Mantis in a triple strat line. Like, you'll get the Ultron, but you won't get the Mantis to play alongside it. So Rage of Ultron, I feel like, is going to be running afoul of Meteor M in the same capacity we saw Galactic Legend previously.
Blaze, my boy.
We'll be getting ready to head back into the game very shortly, it seems. Just waiting
Blaze,
for
my
the
boy.
remainder of the players to confirm that we are good to go. But We have seen one-sided Deadpool. This time, though, finally on Reason Gaming's side. See if they can pressure the backline. So far, Deadpool Vanguard has a 100% win rate in terms of the games we have played today. We'll see if that continues. So does White Fox, ironically, but we've only
Let's go.
seen her in one game. So we'll keep an eye on that as well.
Yeah, I mean,
At
what's the
FICA,
general thing?
Brad
Because,
said
again, we're
hi.
not playing on the most recent
What up, Brad?
patch that we saw in game until next week. How much like White Fox are we expecting to see?
How you doing,
I
bro?
imagine the answer would be more if we were on the most recent patch, but we're seeing, yeah, spitterings of it, I suppose.
I mean,
Dude,
she's still
I'm pumped.
quite
Let's
easy
go.
to punish, plus the ultimate is very easy to shut down in coordinated play. You can freeze it, you can Jeff eat it, you can rogue grab it, you can Emma carbon crush it. Like, there's a whole bunch of
The
CC that you
possibilities.
can basically do that just removes her from getting to play inside that Kumiho form. So I imagine, especially with the fact that like the teleport for the Sanctuary, very easy to jump on the Fox once it's on the 12-second cooldown and punish in the same way that all heroes who are linked to one teleport as their sole mobility tool is.
Mm.
Looks like we're just sorting out what's going on here for these games so that we can jump on in for our second map in this series. Vision holding 1-0 up with some very different compositions, as we've already mentioned, losing quite a few of the tools that they utilized in that last game. Now we're going up against Reason, who are going to be having the option to play something very different to try and bring themselves back into this series.
Dude, I don't know.
Will we be
I don't know
heading
who's
to
gonna win
that
this.
next series right away, or will that map number 3 be materializing?
I forgot who I
We'll
picked,
have to
I'm being
see once
honest with
we're
you.
finally able to get into the game.
I like how disruptive these drafts have been in this series. Like, it really does
Yeah.
feel like it's just trying to make sure that the teams are. But I felt like for Navi and for Alter Esports, it was like, okay, we have these kind of competitions we're expected to lean towards. These are like our most practiced. We're going to keep going with them, even if the maps don't go our way. Here it feels like you're like, we don't know how much you've scrimmed. And in the case of like Reason, you got 2 new players. We're going to try and put you on compositions that you've never actually had the chance.
2 new players?
Is a case of like flying by the seat of your pants. For Vision, I think that's just the chaotic kind of playstyle that they want. So the fact that they brought that to Convoy gives them a really good
Aunt
chance.
May as a strategist,
I
she
mean, one
throws
thing I'll say
pies
about
and
Lions as well
screams.
before they became
help
Vision,
for
they
her attack.
improved so
What?
insanely quickly. Like being able to witness them
That's
scrim.
crazy.
Like, they would go into a scrim, they would lose against a team, give them 2 days, they would scrim that same team, they'd beat them. Like, they improved so quickly, so being able to adapt really, really fast, I think is definitely going to be a major strength for this team to be able to hold on to.
You go back through any of our MRC casting as time has gone on, and we talk about teams to watch. And
Oh, here we go, chat. Here we go, here we go, here we go.
Lions in particular, these are teams to watch. Now they're making it into Ignite as Vision Esports. Let's see what they can do as we head into Midtown.
Just a lot of traffic, I suppose, in New York today. Lots of like pauses and delays, which is going to warm down both
So,
teams.
for
Vision Esports wanna
for
build
defending-
momentum off of their domination win. That's
Oh.
going to be slowed, and for Reason Gaming,
God
a little
damn
bit
it.
more time
Hold on.
to reassess the situation, to regulate
For
how they're
defending,
feeling any
we
pressure,
have
because
Gambit,
both these teams
Psylocke, Mag,
invited, not
Bucky,
really too much risk around how
Invis,
they're
and
gonna perform.
Rogue.
Reason Gaming need to show up.
Oh, attack. We have
Feels like Vision is
Emma,
anticipating a
Elsa,
lot of
Deadpool.
counter-dive, given the fact that we have
Vanguard,
both the
Deadpool,
Bucky as
Jeff,
well
Phoenix,
as the
and
Invis
Invis.
woman in play. Zerg's going to be playing that Winter Soldier. Currently on the high ground, as Reason have not got any real way of pushing them off of it. Instead, they're going to prioritize pushing the objective and forcing Vision to have to drop and come to them, as sooner rather than later, Vision are going to have to do
Let's
just
go.
that. QB trying to build up as much ultimate
Gambit's
as
such a
possible,
good pick,
but given
though.
the fact that it's Reason who
Gambit is
versus
such a good
Deadpool,
pick.
They should be the ones with the first ultimate, although they lose DRP. Stamp is getting to take too many angles around the Emma's shield, and Reason have to just back off, wait for the regroup, and push back again.
I'm really surprised that he's like committing to the Emma Frost when there's still like so many like other options. I mean, Emma Frost is really good in these game modes to just keep the fights going and out sustain it, but usually that was in like a triple Vanguard
Ooh.
position to be more of the damage and more of the focus. Maybe hoping that the other team.
Dude, the
is
Gambit-
many
the Gambit
dives
might
and then
win 'em this
Vanguard
round.
because
Hold
they're
on.
playing more dive, but Beta is going to eat up a lot of the focus that DRP is going to try and put forward. They are eking forward inch by inch, but Vision Esports have to concede some of this space. And really, it's just now farming up these ultimates as fast as possible. Forever, a relatively slow banhammer, but it's immediately
Good
followed
ult.
by the first
Good
effect
ult.
that
Good
we've
ult.
seen. Complete cleanup, though, from Gainer that's going to be over on the Rogue this time to find 2. So Reason Gaming going on the offensive and losing 2 for their troubles. They find 3, but the fact that this fight is still ongoing, Vision Esports have to give this up and it's still eking forward.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
They're
Reason
pushing
up
that thing, though.
ambulance as well, so now
And
the
they have a
fight
Jeff.
splits off onto a long linear angle, which is going to be perfect for Jeff to land.
Mag needs help.
Primary.
Mag needs help.
They've got the Ensong Inferno if Simba gets rushed down.
Oh, the Gambit ult.
Flush
There we go.
coming through from
Here we go. Here we go.
Which they're using to just get, for her reason, get aggressive from their chokes. Meteor
Did he get anyone?
So Jeff would
Don't
get
matter.
value unless
Jeff's gone.
Zerx takes
That's a
it
healer.
down with the Rotters
That's a
there.
healer.
And Reason Gaming, yeah, it's taken them a little bit of time, but they are finding these eliminations. There's the Ensong Inferno blown up before it can hit the ground, unfortunately, and we get Invisible Boundary paired with Psionic Seduction just to be able to fortress this convoy and lock up the first objective point. The Vision are still trickling players on.
Wow.
You've also, like, we've got
Oh, Portal too. Portal.
Just roll for Jeff, so Simba and Ballas in play, able to get things across the board, seen a bit more Jean Grey in action, which Ballas was sort of well known for in like previous iterations, but Simba, first time that we've seen him play competitively.
So Vision Esports banned
finds
Daredevil,
first point objective, at least as
Vanguard
things move forward.
Deadpool.
However, this is the area where things
Although
can go
someone is
really
Vanguard.
poorly if you lose this momentum on attack. I think the main thing to say, Moxie, is this fight seems to have been
Loki
going on
and
for 3
Elsa.
minutes. It hasn't really had a time or chance to resolve. It's just constant.
I mean, look at Ballas, though. Look at the amount of damage that he can do, and that downtime. He's already got the Apex Predator cube. He's going to try to intercept it with the Invisible Boundary, but it's just too much damage. Invisible Boundary is one of the worst
Oh, good shot.
ultimates to
Good
try to
shots.
use
Good
against
shots.
the Apex Predator, because you can't use it first. The Elsa will literally just use that Glartrox to grab you all outside of it, and even if you manage to get the boundary up where the Glartrox is going back to the Elsa, the amount of damage a lot of times still finds the elimination through.
It's pretty much just clawing up what's available. And I do also like the Apex Predator into like the Carbon Crush from DRP.
What we got, DP? What we got, DP?
Longer. Now you've got the Banhammer that's going to be used. Dance of the Butterfly able to at least clean up a couple more picks, and Zerx is actually going to go and find himself a couple more too. The bodies on the objective have to be stalled and stopped. Right at the edge, Reason Gaming have been halted from this second checkpoint. But look, immediately Simba is going to go in. Not quite king of the jungle approach, but he's maybe created some space. He's isolated some of these picks.
Telling you, the Gambit is such a great pick.
They're going to clean up shop.
Why wasn't Gambit banned? There's a reason why Gambit is always banned, bro. Alex, thank you for the likes, bro.
Yeah, but they should lose this next fight. Vision are going to be able to have Kraken Impact as well as Heartbreaker paired alongside Raging Roll Flush, which for sure they're going to use aggressively the moment Reason want to make a play forward. We get the Bulwark coming on through, Gainer closes up the distance, starts grabbing away all of the ult charge. So
The Rogue
Cesaro
ult's
has
crazy.
no opportunity
Keep
to
on
use
pushing,
Invisible
Rogue.
Boundary in reaction, even if he had it charged.
So now Reason Gaming buying more time. See if they can force out more on the other side too. Like you've got a Kraken.
Good defense right there. Really good defense right there.
Nocta is holding on to that. It's Jeff, knowing that everything is going to be thrown at him if he tries to go for something a little bit more offensive. So if you can play it alongside something, force out these ultimates over the next 90 seconds, it would be a major step. Ballas has found a lot with these Apex Predators to be able to catch picks.
Apex Predators?
It's
The Viper Randy Orton? What are we talking about?
And it's not found much. I think it was going to go for the Magneto, but he used the Meteor M in response to try to not be caught out from it. Able to survive. Rex is able to stop this like dive from coming in with the It's Jeff. Nocta not able to get much. Vision Esports hold on more.
Still, but that was a lot of ultimates coming through from the side of Vision Esports, although they do still have this high ground. Reason, they've got the Invisible Boundary, but again, you can't have it forced and choked. You need to be able to walk past Vision's hold and get onto the objective to actually gain any level of value. As Gainer's just going to look for a close hold, apply a little bit of pressure, maybe get someone low enough that the Hornet Pro just can come for
Good ult. Good ult. This ult may give them the push that they need.
From DRP, but Seijuro's ultimate is forced off of the Kraken Impact from Zerx, and Vision Esports, they're just going to run away. They've got their own Invisible Boundary to take Sanctuary onto when the fight moves to the point, and off of the back of that, they have the greatest sustain. It's just a matter of cleanup right now. They're not even allowed to get out of the fight, though. Zerx with the Bionic Hook casts it out, and Forever goes back to the respawn. Unfortunately, that means that he loses the Deadpool ult.
Damn.
Has to go towards the Strange.
Oh,
At
good.
least you bypass
Good
the
shit,
Strange
Mag.
and Vision Esports aren't the fastest, most mobile team. Might be
Hold
trying
on,
to
who did I
scale
pick
it
for
out
this?
and stop
I'll tell
this
y'all
one
who I
from
picked for
actually
this
coming
game.
in. So yeah, like the Strange isn't gonna have a real
At
opportunity.
Udis Linadarse 1778 said hi.
I don't think there's gonna be any chance of touching.
What up, bro?
Somebody's actually managed to grab it. Is this going to cause enough chaos? And
What up,
cause that freedom? I think
1778?
Bremer's the one that's had to like actually drive
How you
by
doing, bro?
DRP, that had to swing in on the Venom. But as the support and the rest of the team is trying to come in to give their aid, they're being picked off one at a
Hold
time.
on, wait. How do I
It
look
was
at
just
my-
a hope, a dash for Reason Game to try and touch. Really well played from Vision Esports to keep this one alive for them. But I think it's like
How
for
do I look
Reason
at the ones I
Gaming,
picked?
They
they?
struggled when Vision Esports got control and they could just really dig their heels in.
And that's just the story of Midtown.
What's
The
today?
moment
March
that the
27th, right?
defense wins one
At
27th.
Udis
fight on
Linadarse
second and is able to
1778
secure
said,
up
do you
that
play
high
more
ground,
games?
it becomes
I do
so
play
much
more
harder for
games.
attacking teams to be able to get
I do
past.
play more
Like, you
games.
saw what happened.
But we
They
got
took so
preseason
much
right now.
pressure
We got
just walking
preseason right
through
now.
the choke. They were so concerned about the close hold, the hits of the Rogue on the backline mid-rotation. They had to use Invisible Boundary before they
What
even
games you
got
play, bro?
anywhere near Herbie, which just meant that everyone on the side of the defense called it quits, kited out of the Invisible Boundary before they were punished by
His
the
name is
Slug, and
RSN
then took residence
forever.
in their own. So really good just ways of playing from Vision, perfectly
Reason
understanding
Gaming.
positions, and when to go aggressive enough that it forced a response, but not too aggressive that it was punishable.
Shout out to production as well. Has been doing a lot of these like bird's eye third-person views because I
Oof.
think it showed like we saw the invisible.
Dude, telling you,
boundaries
dude, the
from Reason in
Gambit-
their attack. In
the
a more
Gambit is
defensive
going to
position,
save
right
him.
on the stairs a second, and then they dove in. Like they just put this big ultimate down, and they just completely nullified it by not needing to use it anymore. It was used defensively. They wanted to go in the counter.
The
position.
Gambit is
That's
going to
when
save
Phoebe
him,
got
bro.
a really good invisible boundary off, right as
The fact
when
that they're not
Reason
rocking a
Gaming
Gambit is
and Reason Gaming
crazy,
couldn't
bro.
do much about it in the slightest. So I'm really impressed with like how Vision Esports are holding. The first point hold was like a rough time, but everything afterwards, it seemed that the composition that they put together really started to sing. Reason Gaming, it's not that they have to full hold first. They have a good chance a second, but they were hoping to maybe get a little bit further.
Yeah, I mean, we have to see this also coming in huge. Like, Boss is already outputting a whole lot of damage, already a quarter of the way to that first ultimate charge, but they just have no map control right now. Stan's been able to flank up and take high ground hold, which now puts pressure on Reason Gaming's disengage, and they get stuck inside these small rooms where they have so little space.
Where do you see
When
the
fight
ones you
actually
picked in
comes to
the
them,
Rivals, bro?
DRP
I
is
have no
down,
idea.
The rest of the team just having to run all the way to hide behind cover, but look at the amount of distance Vision have been able to pick up so quickly in
At
comparison
Udis
to how long it took
Linadarse
Reason to break around our
1778
second
said,
core.
I play Minecraft Roblox Among Us in Block Blast.
What is
Like, it
Block
feels like
Blast?
Vision Esports are taking a lot of the sort of composition
I played
and lots of
Minecraft
stuff
here
that
and
we
there,
just saw
though.
in, like, MRC, and
I
still
get
making
it
work
in, like-
now, despite Dive seeming
Like
to
if
be,
I
like,
want to
the
play
main
Minecraft,
approach.
like
The long
I'll get in
sidelines
that
is only
mood.
going to suit this composition. Xvader is really just going to be at the forefront to mitigate some of this damage and focus. Honor Proteus is going to be used on the defensive side from Reason, but it's DRP that goes down first over on this Emma.
Good ult, good ult, really good ult. Nice kills, Elsa.
Able to find at least a pick onto the front line, but a visible boundary now being used.
Ooh,
for
good
Vision
aim.
Esports as a response.
Good aim.
Rex has found himself too perfectly in
Good aim!
more. I think the time that Reason Gaming set has been
Really good for
by
Bucky.
Vision
Yeah,
Esports.
dude,
It's
Vision
whether they can keep
Esports
this
all the
momentum
way,
going
dude.
all the way till the end of second.
They are
I mean, when you look at the ultimate
absolutely
combo and the hero
rolling
matchups, you
Reason
have to
Gaming
expect
right
that,
now.
like, DRP is going to go for Strange TP. This is them just making sure they don't get held on subway. They're going for a map flip. I think they're going to try and TP
Strange
and
portal,
instantly
strange portal.
disintegrate Rex so that he doesn't get the opportunity of
Do that ult.
using that raging royal flush. The horn from the
Good ult from the Namor.
Gambit, but the Namor got through, and that means that Reason are losing players. They just have to keep their position on the subjective, and Vision, they get slowed down a little bit, but
Rogue
they're
ult.
gonna send in the ultimates.
Dude, that
Which
rogue is
can
really
crack
good.
the Impact Azure is not going to be able to dodge out of that one, and Reason are losing players, and they are.
Yo, this
and
Bucky is
OCD
actually
right
cracked
now.
out of his
We're down to
mind.
last fight.
This is scary now for Reason.
This
Gaming.
Bucky is
They have
actually
to try and
cracked out of
rope
his
up.
mind right
Simba
now.
is the one on the Invisible Woman now that's hoping to try and hold the line as Noctis switched over like to the Namor. So you've got like roles being switched around depending on which of these duelists wants to play what. And now it's whether this hold.
Holy shit, dude.
You've seen that X-Bait has taken a lot of space in the end, try to break some of the tools that are thrown down.
At Udis Linadarse 1778 said, "What game is that?"
This is Marvel Rivals, bro.
And the Heartbreaker together might be really all that she wrote for Reason Gaming. Everybody's being cleaned up. There's no space, there's no time, and Vision Esports not only able to sort of
they steamrolled them.
Wasn't really catered to them before. They destroyed Reason.
Yeah, they did.
I mean,
they destroyed them, bro. Holy shit.
They give him Bulwark and they send him with Heartbreaker into the back line. And
oh my god, dude. They absolutely destroyed him.
For the defense to be able to stabilize inside a strategist ultimate and try to play the advantage of closer respawns by eking away eliminations against the attack. Brilliant plays, and honestly, like, great to see that this team is adapting very, very quickly to plays that they had to just try to fit in replacement of those they had previously.
Yeah, I mean, comparing her to Reason that have been just this, see what can work in such a short space of time.
Oh, fuck.
Spots. Really, we were
yikes.
Just not only from losing some of the
see, I was just guessing.
This team really raw for Lions, but also the fact that like they lost somebody like Dennis that was helping out this team a lot. A lot of the improvements that you said that they made.
Oh my god, I'm an idiot for not putting VSN all the way up there.
Managed to sort of pick up where they left.
Big yikes from me. Big yikes from me.
New introductions of like Gainer and stuff have been like the perfect kind of positions to sort of slot in. To be honest, like that was one of the best performances that we've seen from Gainer in quite some time, I think.
That Bucky was actually cracked out of his mind, dude. He was hitting literally all of those shots, bro.
QB, by the way, does not visit respawn once. Goes through the whole duration of both rounds without going down, and is by far one of the players that you have to watch out for because he's like quietly doing everything that Invisible Woman should be doing.
That shit was actually nuts, bro.
And himself alive.
That shit was actually nuts.
What a debut for some of these players. Obviously, a couple have been in the Ignite.
I was not expecting that. Oh my god, bro.
Had the chance to play on this big of a stage, and they showed up beautifully. QB not going down at all. Satam going at 11 and 3.
Holy cow.
At Udis Linadarse 1778 said, "I am 2 hours away from my dog." Ellen Nodarse just followed.
Thank you for the follow, Ellen.
Whereas on the other side, the closest
or thank you for the sub over on the YouTube.
This is Vision.
I'm 2 hours away from my dog.
Debut.
What do you mean, bro?
And such a big game to do it as well. Like I was just looking at.
Are you traveling or something?
Schedule.
Yo, they are 2-0 against them. They are 2-0 against them.
It couldn't be any more of a frustrating way. Like you've got the world champions.
Are you kidding me, bro?
Somebody in a game like this are gonna be like a bit nervous on how they perform under this new organization.
Are you actually kidding me, bro?
2 games under their belt that they can build up some sense of consistency. For Reason,
it
was just a lot of car crash. Like
they absolutely steamrolled them.
Today, and this is gonna really hurt them, I think, with not only just losing on their map choice.
They absolutely steamrolled them that round. Oh my goodness, bro. Literally, that wasn't even a competition, bro. It really wasn't even a competition. If you guys are enjoying this, we're live on all platforms. But if you do want to watch it full screen, we are live over on that purple app. It is the same as, well, it's just Infamous, but it has an underscore and then 22.
On the Gambit, Gainer as well, getting access to an insane
TikTok, you'll find the link in my bio. You can also earn stuff in the game. If you watch, we do have drops enabled over on the purple app as well.
There's a reason why Vision are able to close it out as quickly as they do. It's because Gainer literally
because they
drain away
hey
every win
they legit bent him over and then just had a good time with him. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'll say. That is all I will say, bro.
We're going to be getting ready to head on in for the future. We already talked about Reason having a potentially very rough run. If we look ahead for Visions, they have Crownfall coming up next tomorrow. And then their next game isn't until next week after that. So they're going to
next game is until next week?
At Udis Linadarse 1778 said, "I went to Legoland in Vaction Village."
lots more excitement.
At
coming
Udis
up for them
Linadar
all
say
reason. They're gonna have
1778
to
said
go back to
hi.
the drawing board,
I went to
rethink
Legoland.
and come
Oh, dude,
back
I've
for
never
their
been to
match versus
Legoland.
Virtus Pro and really lock it in.
Is
because that's
Legoland
going to
cool,
be
bro?
Difficult.
Yeah, it's trying to work out. I think just some sense of like semblance, like that's concerning. Like that, not only like switching out
Like
players,
that.
like we sort of spoke about it before the series. Like, are they going to try to make a big?
They
team
absolutely
stick by it,
steamrolled
or are
them.
they going to try to like slowly make those adjustments? They kind of did both in this game. Like that's Simba's first like debut game, also playing in Ignite.
Boom.
Was a
Sports
messy
event.
one, right? You're brought in to play some duelists, some strategists, depending on what people are playing, what side you're on. It
I
just
look
seemed like,
at
I don't know whether
the-
that's been going like well in scrims, whether that's something that they've been able to like consistently
Okay, wait,
do
we
in,
can
like, the 2
change
days
them?
they have, but it was just it's hard
But
to
we
get any
only
data out
have
of it.
4
It's
hours
how
to
much of
change
it was
our
us playing
predictions.
poorly? Was it us changing up
Okay.
roles too much? Was it just the tilt from like mistakes that were made on the previous?
Okay. So look at this. We only have, what, 4 hours to like change predictions and whatnot for this game. We can still change them, which I still might. Not that though. 4 hours. Damn, bro. I fucked up. Oh man, I messed up bad, bro. I messed up mad, bro. I went to a slide that goes straight down. Just a straight ditch, or like what's going on? Did you go to Narnia? My God, I messed up with these predictions, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I messed up with these predictions. Oh, an interview? Oh shit, an interview. Hold on. Remember, if you guys do want drops, we're live over on the Purple app. It was in a water park from 100 feet. Damn. That's still a crazy slide. You know those rides? You know those like water rides or whatever? You go in the tube and the dude locks it, but like the floor it like it like goes away under you. I cannot do those, bro. I cannot do those. Having something ripped out from underneath me is an absolute no-no. An absolute no-no. Oh shit, interview time. Interview time. Hold on. A seed. Uh Uh-huh. I don't think he understands. Oh, you need to pull yourself in. Oh, okay. I gotcha. I gotcha. Do you like roller coasters? Like a normal coaster ride? Yeah, roller coasters are fun, bro. I love roller coasters. Are you winning? Damn. Damn. Talk your shit. Talk your shit. We're gonna win everything for the next 2 years. Mic drop that bitch, bro. Yeah, damn. Isn't Kingsman in this? Isn't Kingsman in this? Alright, they're doing a break. Let's go, man. Let's go. Yo. Dude. What crazy battles, bro. Those were I did not mean to do that either. Those were actually crazy battles. Well, the second one was a wash. The second one was definitely a wash, bro. What up, Arctic? How you doing, bro? That second game was a wash. Yo, VSN absolutely dog walked RSN. I'm just saying. We have 3 more games, chat. We have 3 more games. We have Shiki versus Pulsar, and then VP versus CNF, and then PEPS versus TH. So it should be good. It should be good. It should be good. Dude. Good stuff, bro. Good stuff. Man, I should have put in my bracket. I should have put VSN up higher. I should have put VSN up a little bit higher. Because, oh man, that makes me worried. That actually makes me worried. Damn, bro. I think PEPS is number 1, I think, on this side. Hold on, wait. Let me look at my bracket again. Hold on, wait. Let me look at my bracket again. We do have 3 minutes. Let's see. Oh no, PEPS is number 2 on one side. Oh, number 4 is TH. Okay, Group A, I have Navi, PEPS, Shika, and TH. Group B, I have VP, FRY, RSN, and then VSN. I didn't know where to put VSN. Uh-oh. We may have done an oopsie. Oh yeah, this is the new uniforms that came out too. Hold on, chat. Yo, he hitting that. I ain't gonna lie to you. I saw I saw something weird on Twitter. Someone made her start twerking and spanking her ass. I was like, y'all need help. All right. Some people who play this game, y'all need help, bro. I ain't even gonna hold you. Ooh. I do like the sounds of that one though. You gotta add Star Lord up in there. If there's dancing, Star Lord has to be number 1 on that list, bro. My boy is ready for a dance battle. I ain't gonna lie, he hitting that too, bro. That was clean. Hey, oh. Am I gonna get those? Probably not, though. Third match. Is there no audio? Oh my god, there is no match.
Judas Linadarse
My bad.
1778 said, "How can your PC handle that?"
How can your PC handle that?
Starting with Ryan.
My PC is good, bro.
Why is this a big one?
Ooh, I think we've seen some of the teams that are like partnered, that have stayed together for however long. We're going to see some teams later on today that are
Sorry, I was
just
playing copyrighted
cherry-picking
music,
players
that's
and
why.
putting them together and
Wilson.
seeing if it works. It's the fact that this is like 2 teams that have mostly stayed
Third
the
match.
same from not only like previous like MRCs at the start of this year, but teams that have been around a while as a cause. So we're going to see a lot of like how these like coordinated monolithic teams face up against each other in Ignite again, but also in like a new meta, like 2 really good teams when it comes to some of the macro and coordination that's at play.
Anything
At
but
Judas
Marvel. What are you
Linadarse
talking about, Christy?
1778
Very
said
familiar
said
names,
hi.
as Ryan said, we'll be diving into that a bit more
Going on,
with the
Yudi?
teams, but You alluded to something a little bit earlier, something a little bit cheeky, and we'll talk about it more when the team comes up, but there might be a magic in these
Yes,
games,
this is the
possibly.
tournament. This is the
Yeah,
tournament.
we're probably going to be seeing a lot of melee heroes come through from Pulsar esports side, as El Chabo Group has actually won MLC maps with Magic in play. As they got to
Let's
play Magic,
go,
Daredevil, Iron Fist, essentially was the whole hero pool. And
What
it
team
was
are they on?
actually all targeted out at some points when they played in the MLC matches as well.
Okay.
I don't know if you can get away with that though this time, is what I would say, right? Like, it's like, would you dedicate all 4 of your bans to taking out Chabagoob when there's stuff like Gambit and Elsa and stuff? It's a whole different, like, ball game here, but, like, Chabagoob on this stage, I'm really excited to see.
It's gonna be interesting, but
Team
let's start off
introduction.
with our team introductions.
Already looking
Moxie,
amazing.
These are some very familiar names. What can you tell me about Shikigami?
This is a team that is just bread and butter for Dive. Kaya is, in my opinion, one of the best Venom players in both EMEA, but also all of the rest of the regions combined. Like, his soft dives were incredible. Even when Venom wasn't top tier meta last year, he was still able to make this Vanguard look like one of the best in game, despite having to run constantly into full counter compositions. So now that he gets to play alongside this team, I really do feel like they're going to be leaning an awful lot on Dive with Frost Mountain and Leolas, both getting to play their staple comfort heroes too.
So much pedigree, I think, is the main thing about
Let's
like,
go,
this team of,
Shiki.
like, not only doing really well as cooking with Kyra in season 5, but you've got players from Alcacia that were sort of known to be very well coordinated, structured in how they went for like dive plays and how they played off of each other. But their opponent, Pulsar, a team that was mostly known for being Dawncore, affectionately a team that was solid within the MRC season, qualified
Warlock.
for
You can
stage
never
2 as
trust
well
a
for the
Warlock,
open
though.
qualifiers. This core of a team has not changed since June of last year. It's only like Virtus Pro that have been around like longer, I suppose, as a main core team. The problem is just like this is like the next level for them.
Bye,
They're
Christy.
starting to improve a lot as a team. But I would also say like the performances that we saw that were really good from Dawncore previously were in more of like this kind of like Groot team fight coordination meta. But from what we just saw from Vision, that kind of like playstyle is still applicable here. Like, Dive is strong, sure, but it doesn't feel like it's the only be-all end option.
There are a lot of options here. We got to talk about, like you already mentioned, Groot style of plays. We
Dude,
have,
yeah.
of course, the
Groot
legendary Groot player in the form of Tree Man on the side of Pulsar that has been influential
Groot will go crazy
throughout the Marvel Rivals Championships as time has gone on. But for now, we are going to get it ready to head into our first map. As usual,
Let's go.
we start with domination.
First match, let's go.
Have been able to practice on the map. They have been told ahead of time what map they get to start off with. And we are heading to Celestial Husk as our first setup. Now, this is a map that can be quite wide open, so we can see a little bit more of the Star-Lord being prioritized. And of course, we do see Vanguard Deadpool prioritized in a lot of these matches.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Celestial Husk, 3 different rounds and very, very different levels of terrain as well. Like, you get to bunker up against Dive, you get to play the Dive, so we're probably going to be seeing a couple of different compositions based on which
everything
stuff
but
map we
Dive.
get.
Everything
but
in
when
Dive.
it comes to the band draft, I'm not really expecting anything different from what we've seen. I don't think it will be a magic ban. I think much more likely it will be the Daredevil that Shikigami decides to target, but we'll have to see.
Indeed, as it looks like our players are now ready. So we're going to be heading on in with Ryan Central and Got Moxie bringing you Pulsar versus Shikigami.
Bam, bam, bam. Here we go.
I'm so happy to see these teams back, Moxie. I really am. Like, it's
5 people choose
familiarity
Magic?
there, and already
What are we
seeing,
doing?
Like, the main rift. I think it's the big question of like for first bans, Elsa or Gambit.
Elsa apparently is the dominant answer from both of these teams. There's the Daredevil save actually on the side of Shikigami, so Pulsar can't ban it out, they can only mirror it. as we get one more ban before Pulsar gets to go into their first lock.
Why
What's it
is
gonna be? They saw the
everyone on
Daredevil.
Magic?
Do they take out the Jeff? They do. So Jeff is removed, which does depower Venom somewhat. And as we talked about, right, Kaya is a staple Venom player, as is Chabogoob a staple Daredevil player. So it looks like Pulsar are wanting to go for a dive mirror as well.
Very
Ooh.
interesting that we're not.
They do
seeing
have
this,
a
like,
Widow,
we ban
though.
out this first, we're going to instantly protect it. It
No
feels like both
Loki.
teams are like, maybe just leave
Shame.
it open for both, just trying to find the things in and around it, feeling like tackling the big characters that we're looking at in the game first, at the very least, isn't worth it when you can manipulate the draft a little bit more. So immediately we're seeing like a much deeper, intimate game, I suppose, because these teams have played against each other, I'm pretty sure, in like the recent like MRC Season 5. But it was a very dominant win for Shikigami. Dawn Core at the time couldn't get much going. But we are seeing the Gambit being taken out, so it's not going to be one-sided.
No.
But it's still potentially open for the protection of Elsa, which is exactly what Pulsar are hovering over.
Yeah, it looks like Pulsar might decide to go for this. The thing is, if they do decide to go for the Elsa, then they're going to have to play
Chad,
a
I'll
split
be right
because
back.
Elsa does not
I'll leave
play
you with this, though.
dive. So Shikigami is going to have the opportunity of now diving an isolated Elsa. As we can actually see, do they go for this Mantis removal so that we
literally
don't have
everyone is
damage
magic.
boosted
That is
Elsa, as
crazy.
well as one way of being able to circumvent some of the impact of the ultimate generation slices coming on for that damage boost, allowing you to do more damage, therefore build your ultimate far faster than the other team, as Shikigami have actually been able to secure themselves one-sided Vanguard Deadpool as Pulsar remove the Psylocke. So taking some avenues of the dive away, but we're still going to have that Daredevil versus Daredevil mirror, which honestly might be used just to counter each other out. Send one Daredevil to interfere with the other's rotation so that it's literally just a reliance of information that both of these teams have access to.
Well, it's more of a priority, I think, for Pulsar as well, to just make sure that Chabogoob gets probably the stronger, like, melee option out of the ones that we mentioned of, like, Magic. I think there was a bit of Wolverine thrown in briefly, but not too much. And yeah, Psylocke taken out at the end. So this is a real just eye test, I think, is the main one. This is one where I feel like all of us, at least all the broadcasters, are just going to sort of sit back a little bit and just see how good Shikigami look, whether they are competing for the top end of the group A that they're in, or whether Pulsar are actually like gonna throw hands and be a real contest spot, I suppose, for playoffs. They can even do well themselves. It's just hard to gauge whether this team can ascend to this level after being picked up by Pulsar.
I mean, it's a different look coming through from Shikigami. Pulsar very firmly wanting to go for a dive composition with both the Jeff, the Venom, and the Daredevil, as well as Treeman on the Angela. But we did actually get to see him play on the MLC matches and do really, really well with it, being able to go in, disrupt, displace, and make a lot of space for the Daredevil to follow through. Shikigami, however, are actually going to go for counter dive. So they're going for the Loki with the regeneration domain, the CD as well, to have those two vulnerabilities and get as much healing AoE off on the team that are stacked up, playing inside the bunker, which now means that Pulsar Esports, they've got the dive, but they can't just dive the front door. They have to go all the way around the back of the map and dive from there instead.
Trying to go through them actually as well as the Seedor. There is a Groot in play, but it isn't Treeman actually. It is going to be a Seedor that's sort of playing it. Kaya was really impressive with the recent season of MRC, going to be playing up over onto the Deadpool Vanguard. That is one-sided. Lindstrom finds that first elimination, but the dive is just too good as the Legend and Chabogoob go writing. The disruption of these Groot walls is enough to actually break some of this down, but Kaya getting there early with the ultimate before anybody else. We sort of mentioned it before about like the Deadpool Vanguard. It's enough to sort of put this fight to bed. Maybe Chabogoob is trying to actually cosplay Daredevil for real here with the odds being against him, but he's only able to get one pick and get out.
This man knows no fear, but he took out the Namor early, which now means that Pulsar Esports don't have to worry about the setup of those monsters, stopping the dive, taking out the health bars, and allowing them to actually confirm into a hit. As we get to see Kizaru's POV looking for that drop. Eastor does have the Strangling Prison investor and grabs both of those Vanguards. The regeneration is actually used from Shikigami's side, so they can just
Loki is still available
within that Groot's ultimate, and Pulsar lose the Vanguards and look like they're going to be swapping up Treeman off of the Angela onto the Groot to be able to mirror what Isидor's doing.
Yeah, I mean, he's like, if he's going Groot, I want to be able to go Groot. And I think it goes to show that, like, whilst, yeah, going for these, like, coordinated plays seems to be, like, a mainstay, but there is so many other options, especially on points like this that get very bottlenecked very quickly if you're not capable. So Pulsar trying to change stuff up, hasn't been able to take any progression onto the point at all, means that they are playing behind. Shikigami having ultimates built up ahead and ready.
GG's.
Both strategists, in fact, going to be ready to go with the Cloak and Dagger to the bond. Yeah, they've got actually forced out the domain expansion. He still has his ultimate.
I mean, that's huge, though, because that means that Lindstrom is going to have to be a lot more careful when that dive hits. Has to go for that copy onto the God of Mischief with the Cloak and Dagger. Gets the Duck Teleportation past Kizaru's Feast of the Abyss, which is absolutely massive. Lindstrom lives, gets to set the path with the Eternal Bond to push the team outside of the small space into the open, where they would be so much more vulnerable to the dive.
Ooh,
and Daredevil's still up.
Is going to pull everybody in. You have got the regeneration domain going to be used actually to keep everybody alive for the time being. So Shikigami seeing if they can like actually hold on here.
There's a Groot. You need to bring a Loki, bro.
Pressure on, but nothing to
That's
account
the
for
reason
so
why.
Sabatic on this Elsa, using the Apex Predator to sort of pull people away from this objective and actually be able to contest it a little bit more. But seeing it from Lindstrom's perspective, he is under no stress whatsoever. Sabatic tries to go in for the pick. And a really good play from Lindstrom to hold with that consistent threat to Pulsar were thrown down.
Yeah, I think we're seeing one of the problems that a lot of full dive compositions run into. If any element of the team that you're diving has counter dive, but they also have a different component, something like the Daredevil, who can run a little bit more freely, self-sustaining, and mock in your back line, not only is your dive being full countered and you have no other real option of playing your composition, so you don't even gain like map control space, you also can't really win out the fights when you do get your dive into position, because your strategists are constantly having to deal with Frost Mountains and antics in that backline. So I do like the pivot from Treeman off of the Angela onto the group. It was just a little bit too late. The fact that Shikigami had already been able to win out that first fight and establish such a fortress of a hold in small room to be able to survive the dive while also keeping that point control in their possession. So this time Pulsar will be rolling out on the grid, so it's a little bit more fairer, but when you look at the ultimate economy, Ryan, it's not really that fair. Yes, Lapsus Sotilis will have that it's Jeff, but Leolaz is just going to be holding Horn of Proteus, because as Jeff players know, there's always a larger fish in the sea when it comes to the Namor Showdown.
I mean, that's why he's on land. He doesn't want to deal with them, but Leolaz is going to force it. I guess the problem that Treeman's going to run into is just the verticality of this point. You don't have the little symbiotic elevators to work with, but it means that you can just be a real thorn in the side by just rooting yourself into the objective itself. Pulsar Esports trying to get a hold of it, but it is just Treeman there, isolated, plucked out of the ground by Isidore, and it seems that this like focus from Shikigami, namely sort of led by Frost Mountain, who's been superb on this Daredevil, absolutely picks everybody apart, and there's just no way for Pulsar to seat themselves on the point.
Yeah, Sapatek's just too vulnerable as well. Like, they got Elsa through the ban draft, that should be their win condition, but Frost Mountain, with the radar sense passive, is always able to tell when the Elsa is just alone and vulnerable, and continues diving alone onto that Elsa, having the objection, being able to live the 1v1, to the point that, like you said, Sapatek knows he's too vulnerable, has to go to the Phoenix and potentially play for a win condition with the Strangling Prison. Team up is speaking about win condition and team-ups. Strangling Prison sets up for Horn of Proteus. Lapsus Sotilis at least gets a free. It's Jeff off of the back of that, but what's it going to do? It's not going to be turning the tide of this fight. Pulsar Esports have to regroup and rely on Kizaru pulling attention instead.
Also saw the Shikigami a little bit worried about the It's Jeff ultimate. Sort of grouped up on Name, had the cloak just in case they needed to eye from the team, but I don't think it was them, the main core of people who were hidden behind the tree, that was the main focus, able to just completely omit it. And now Pulsar struggling to actually get any progression onto the point. They've got a Strangling Prison coming up, as well as another Let the Devil Out. But I think you're looking again at Name and Lindstrom having ultimates both ready and available, and regen domain still in hand. It really feels like Lindstrom has everything he needs to protect this backline.
Yeah, I mean, Pulsar Esports just haven't been able to get past the front line at this point. We're headed towards Final Fight territory as we get to see Kizaru just
What
stabilizing.
the
Has
hell
face
was
of
that
can be a
Venom
little bit
doing?
more aggressive, forces out the
Bad
regeneration
all.
domain, then looks for the eat afterwards. As that is the low-key green's gone, but Nami still got the
shield.
ultimate, as has Lindstrom. Great shield coming on through, but Shikigami still going to be losing out on the cloak and dagger, which means if Lindstrom wants a copy, he has to look for Pulsar's backline instead. Somehow he finds it, actually gets the God of Mischief to set up the Eternal Bond and force the Legend to use theirs too.
88% on the objective for Shikigami, and now it feels that Pulsar Esports, if they have something to throw in, they want to. Let the Devil Out is going to be used, and Chabagoob hasn't really had the chance to shine just as brightly as he did in previous MRCs, and now you have got the Ensong Inferno slammed onto the ground, finding the picks. Everything had to be used because it was last chance saloon for Pulsar. Shikigami, they can group up, they have a Banhammer, they just need to get everything together, one last fight, and they're able to take the first map.
Oh, there's the Banhammer coming on through from Kaya. Pulsar Esports, they lose the Phoenix. Shikigami,
Dang.
they have a win condition too. If they just walk point and force Pulsar to have to contest the point flip, Eastro says, I'm strangling prison.
Groot is
and
really
Leolas
good.
overlaps Horn of Proteus right on the top of it, if they even need it. They're pulling apart these eliminations. We get the vulnerability coming on through from the Terra Cape, Pedro strangling prison.
Wow.
And it is all
Good dear.
Shikigami in the elimination field. That's
Let's go,
the
team.
Pulsar Esports, I don't think anyone's going to be able to get from Respawn to touch.
It doesn't look that way at all. Pulsar Esports struggling to get on the board here on Celestial Husk. And whilst it's like easy to sort of pick apart some of the changes, like just coordination maybe missing, it really did feel that Shikigami just had everything nailed down. Perfect showing, and Shikigami as an organization looking at this and going, yeah, we picked up the right team.
I mean, Nami and Lindstrom, they were just so unbothered. At least for that second round, a little bit more pressure from the first, given that we actually saw the dive hitting.
That's what I want to see out of them. This is
Lindstrom
what I
lost
want
him
to see
once,
out of them.
Nami twice is all you need to know about how successful Pulsar Esports dive was. And it's like they were coordinating, they were getting those dive opportunities in. It's just that Shikigami were peeling it perfectly. Regeneration domain, Nami being able to have all of the AoE healing with
That's
the
what
dagger
happens when you don't
primary
ban
as
Groot,
well
when you
for the
don't ban
AoE
Loki.
attached to both have self-healing but also keep the Loki up. Like, we very rarely actually get to see Shikigami forced into a position where they do get pressured, and when they do, Isidore just comes through with the Strangling Prison, catches out both the Pulsar Esports Vanguards, and we see Shikigami still able to
Namor
win
came
out
in
the
clutch
fight.
a couple of times too.
I mean, also, I didn't get to really glaze one of my favorite players, by the way, because I was talking about Pulsar mostly. Leolis was terrific, and it's just like 11 final hits. He just had all
Yeah,
the
dude, that's
freedom
Blaze.
in the
You gotta
world.
stop, bro.
I think he could cosplay the just arrogance of like MCU Namor of just sitting there and being like, this is beneath me, because nothing really was able to touch him. He had some really good ultimates, but he was left to his own devices. Even though he wasn't allowed Elsa, it didn't matter. That one-sided Elsa couldn't do its job at all for Pulsar.
I want to expand on what you two said there, of just this is a masterclass of playing into your opponent's style as opposed to playing the meta. We talked about how Groot isn't seeing as much play here, but when you know you're going to be up against someone who likes the magic, likes the Daredevil, what do? You play stuff like the Loki, like the Cloak and Dagger with the Dagger Storm, like the Namor, who has an immediate burst defense.
That's a
being,
problem, bro.
blessing to
People don't
escape
wanna
those big
switch.
engaged situations
That's the
while still
whole
doing
problem
damage,
with this
punching
game.
you every time
No
you
one
press
wants
a
to
hit, while
switch.
still being able to capitalize on the Groot, on the Daredevil, on the Deadpool. And of course, Frost Mountain just had full freedom after that, because if the opponents are busy trying to fight the wall that is the rest of Shikigami, Frost Mountain is playing the best character to hunt down Elsa, to literally follow. Elsa's one of her biggest advantages is her mobility. Disengage, kite, kite, kite. Who can chase better than Daredevil to try and help deal with that? Beautifully executed. Let's see if they can keep it going in map number 2 after this break. Shikigami with an incredible start, going up 1-0 versus Pulsar. And I immediately want to draw attention to something that you guys were talking about in the break so that we can actually get it out for the audience. And that is how these fights in this match in particular, you can see people trying to feel out and burn resources, which isn't the same as what we saw in the last season before the patch, where it was maybe burn a big strategist ultimate. Burning through resources like the Loki Greens has massively spiked in importance. Isn't that right, Ryan?
Yeah, it feels like before, when it was a lot of focus on stuff like Root Ultimates, you know, Kraken's Impact, Meteor M, and so like it's all about like you either have it or you don't. Like it's on or off. Are you fighting or aren't you fighting? But we've already seen some cases of, like, for example, Na'Vi earlier, a player down, but they still had their Raging Royal Flush with Gambit and also the Galactic Legend. That's enough to turn any fight. They could lose another player that wasn't those two characters and maybe still survive in those engagements. It felt there from Pulsar and a couple of the other teams that we've seen today. They're just perpetually fighting. They're not completely out, not giving up ult charge, albeit it's a little bit weaker, but it's more the fact that Shikigami were like, we are fully engaging, we're disengaging, we need peel. It was very clear what their focus was, and Pulsar were just constantly just throwing hands.
And Moxie, you're the one who pointed out the greens being used in the previous match and brought up this topic as well. We're heading into a Rako next. What are some of the big tools that teams are going to need to be on the lookout for in this map compared to Celestial Husk? In the break again, you were talking earlier about Angela. Why is that so important, and what else can we going to be watching for?
I mean, it's not just the Angela, it's more when you're attacking onto Hellfire Gala, you don't just have to play your whole team from main. Like, you can flank, you can wrap around it, and I feel like, especially for Treeman and Chabu Group, like, they're wanting to take this map space, they're wanting to split the attention. We saw a little bit of it from their first engagement coming through on that first round of Celestial Husk, where they tried to dive from behind as opposed from in front. And I feel like that's going to be very sort of similar to how they approach this attack. They're going to look for a lot of team splits to try and just split the attention so that you can start clawing away the strategist's attention, which then leaves the vanguards in the front line potentially susceptible to one of your duelists playing from main still.
Nami and Lindstrom going to have to be on the lookout, as they are going to be very threatened this game. It is going to be Pulsar starting on attack, with Shikigami starting on the defense. Most of these teams, when they have taken us to these convoy maps, have decided that attack is the way they wish to start. We're going to be getting ready to head into that very shortly, as Pulsar, they are one map away from being our third O2 team of the day. Shikigami can continue the streak of 2-0s across the board, and we've been talking about it, the fact that they could be creeping into that top 2, maybe top 1 position. We're feeling good about top 3 right now, Ryan?
I think so, yeah. I mean, I definitely like when we look at like Shikigami and stuff tomorrow and Team Heretics later on, because I am the host in shoes tomorrow, so prepare your butts for that one. I think it very much is going to be a case of like, are you holding or are you like switching? It's very deal or no deal-esque. But yeah, Shikigami, like, this is a really good test for them, notably because, like, Arako, I don't think we saw at all at the higher broadcast games that we saw in MRC last stage, but also the stage before that. It just seems to be a map that teams are actively avoiding, so it seems that Pulsar, like, we've actually been cooking on this one. Let's see if cooking with Kaya can actually try and match it from Shikigami.
Let's see who cooks as we head into map number 2. It is Arako between Shikigami and Pulsar.
Well, just the way we saw in Celestial Husk, when we go into the ban draft, Pulsar instantly targeting out the Elsa, going for the save onto Chapo Group's Daredevil, and Shikigami, they're more than happy to let the Elsa through, as they were able to deal with it the last time. They think that they're going to be able to deal with it this time, so I really want to see if Pulsar Esports actually try to target the Daredevil before Shikigami get the opportunity to save it. Although I say that, I feel like this is about to be a Daredevil instant save on the side of Shikigami, which would lock it from Pulsar's targeting, but no, they go for the Gambit. Surely, Ryan, this is a Daredevil ban at some point before Shikigami get their next save.
You would imagine so, but... So we haven't seen any, well, not much Loki today. I think actually taking it out here is important for Lindstrom because of how much value he's still found with it. Even with like ult regeneration being nerfed, like Loki is still good, like you mentioned, because of regen domain. Or greens, which I love when long ability names are shortened to something very quick and easy to mention. So like Elsa being taken out on both sides. You've still got a Gambit Sorry, one-sided for Shikigami to work with. But yeah, nothing from the Daredevil outside of that.
Yeah, well, the Loki is sort of like felt on two fronts, right? Loki, so that you don't get 2 casts of Raging Royal Flush, which would allow Shikigami to massively out-tempo Pulsar in terms of ultimate generation, because you get 2 ultimates which can be used to cast and build up the rest of your 4 players. Gambit's in play as well, so we get the Star-Lord getting removed because Galactic Legend plus Raging Royal Flush is an absolute powerhouse of a win condition. Even if you do have that Gambit mirror matchup, having that Gambit plus Star-Lord ultimate a lot of the time actually allows you to really influence the coin flip, as we are going to be getting the Vanguard Deadpool removed as well from Shikigami's end. As Pulsar Esports, they went for that second save onto Invis Woman. So I feel like they're also anticipating Shikigami going for some level of dive, wanting to have the Invis, wanting to be able to use things like the Force Physics to put pressure on, say, the Venom or the Angela, depending on what Kaya feels going for.
I don't think we've seen Deadpool Vanguard on both sides. We've seen it non-mirrored. That we've not seen it at all. So at least some of the bigger hitters are coming in, like Loki is out. You've got Elsa unavailable, and then Deadpool Vanguard. So you do have like a Gambit versus Star-Lord case, and I do think that taking out the Star-Lord is interesting.
Pulsar, I know they're on attack. They can change it. But Chabagoob, like I said, he has got magic playtime. And Kizaru is on Strange. I know you're excited for something else. Sapatic on the Fantastic, but is he gonna really go for
No,
the
it's a
run
portal
for
play,
this?
surely. So I did actually, because I saw some stuff on this map actually, and I was going to bring it up to you. There are some like portal plays that you could do that aren't just like TPing. You basically like cover up some of like the high ground where you can mask where like a dive is coming from. I don't know if Kizaru's going to do that, whether it's going to be a pure dive in. But Sapatic is over on the Jean Grey, and Chabagoob is on the magic.
Yeah, on the magic and detected instantly by Frost Mountain with the radar sense, and Chabagoob is gone. This is what happens when you send a magic against a Daredevil on a 1v1, and the Daredevil has greater access to the health back. As
he's on Daredevil.
We saw the magic once, and boom, it's a magic trick! It's Daredevil!
And he's gone. Yeah, it's the mix-up is nice. You've got Treyman that's also been very good on the Angela, and this is a very good point to be playing Angela on, both on attack and defense. And Layla's on the Psylocke, something that we haven't seen for quite some time. Seeing if he could sort of aid in with the dive for Frost Mountain. He's trying to keep these like chokes pretty cleared up, almost like a bouncer to make sure the Pulsar's like dive can't really find and envelop the backline too much. But he's also going to be working alongside this team. So Legend, playing from the high ground, has some like protection at least, and they're trying to see if they can get in behind where Shikigami are playing.
Yeah, I mean, also able to put pressure with that Psylocke onto Sapatic on the Phoenix, as both of these players, Pulsar in particular, are going to be wanting to use their dive to create space so that Sapatic gets less attention towards him, and the Phoenix can be the one doing the damage and finding the eliminations instead. As we can see, Tremon, like, he's not doing a lot of damage, but the displacement value, especially being able to spare Lindstrom away from any opportunity of the Invis Woman kiting, playing to the choke, getting the primary pierce to heal and build up the invisible boundary for this contest is massive, because it literally means that Shikigami can't afford to take a recontest fight, and Pulsar Esports, a little bit of a struggle to break through first, are able to pick up the first checkpoint and head into second.
Yeah, it was just that kind of like out of the spawn door strategy that really didn't work for Pulsar, but outside of that, it's the sort of unending fights that they've been going for has worked in their favor, because Shikigami can't quite get themselves together. They keep losing out on players, not changing up too much with the composition, trying to use this high ground as best that they can, because they feel like if the attackers can actually start to make their way up the staircase, it could be a really rough time that Pulsar Esports are like setting forward. A good pick onto Tree Man, who's trying to scout some information to make sure that the focus is a little bit split on the side of Shikigami, but the dive is looking to try and come in for the engagement. No. Eternal Bond is trying to come through. Meteor M is looking for the right kind of target, and it connects perfectly onto the Cloak and Dagger after the ult.
Oh, that's so unfortunate for Pulsar Esports. They had no protection onto Lapsus inside that Eternal Bond dash animation. And Isidore is just more than happy to be able to chase down with the Meteor M before the CD can swap into the Cloak form and mitigate the Meteor M's impact with Dark Teleportation. And that's taken all of the momentum away from Pulsar's side. If they want it back, they're going to have to overinvest their ultimate economy, and Shikigami, they can take turn first, or they can let Pulsar burn themselves out of their ultimates and take a step backwards. Looks like they go for the first option. Leolaz uses Dance of the Butterflies, forces out the invisible boundary, but Shikigami gets a hold onto theirs, crucially, to have to react to Pulsar's aggression.
Oh, there's so much here too as well when it comes to ultimate. I think it's going to be a bit of a struggle for Kizaru to get a good Eye of Agamotto with how the movement, the characters that these have, the barriers in the hands of the likes of a Magneto, but there is a switch over. Cedo's actually gone over towards the Emma Frost to see if they can roll on the objective a little bit more.
Not just that, Ryan. This is Emma bullying Strange. If Isidore gets Carbon Crush, all you have to do is Diamond Form, so you avoid the Strange Eye of Agamotto stun, and then Carbon Crush. This is such a good way to potentially cancel out that Strange ultimate, and it means that Pulsar can't go aggressive. They have to wait for the Emma Form to be done first. Shikigami get to come back, clear the space with both the invisible boundary, catching Pulsar Esports, and when they're slowed, send Frost Mountain in to finish the job with Let the Devil Out. What a play.
And it meant that Pulsar, even though they still have ultimates in hand, they just never had a good opportunity to use them. What a pivot from Shikigami to go for those characters and find so much success with them. And having something like an Emma Frost means that those ultimates, this side of Seduction, they can be placed pretty much anywhere in a fight and they can find a good amount of value. Dive trying to go in, but the targets are on different individuals, and Sapatic cannot find any space. He has the Ensong Inferno to try and disengage if he wants, but they're looking for something to play around a little bit more to find these picks.
I mean, the more Pulsar as well is staved off, the closer Name gets to that one-sided Raging Roar flush. Frost Mountain finally now is forced into taking the Daredevil 1v1, which he doesn't want to do. He's been much more inclined to try to deal out things like the Phoenix, as Tree Man bites off a little bit more than he can chew and goes down. Despite this, Pulsar Esports have closed up the distance onto that objective, and this is their best push. They might trade their Invisible Woman for it, though, as Kaya makes the decision to keep pressuring the backline, knowing that he can get out, take the damage, and battery his strategists to have the ultimates when Shikigami call to recontest. Ensong Inferno from Sapatic held in the sky as long as possible. Lapsus will be able to use the Eternal Bond to meet it, and they have the sustain to match the Raging Roar flush coming through from Shikigami's side. But the moment that those ultimates are done, all of the attention falls to the Legend on the Invisible Woman.
Akai has done such a good job to just keep it going in this fight, surviving, sustaining, stalling. The Dance of the Butterfly's invisible boundary is going to come in and support him after we saw the Feast of the Abyss used to just keep the fight alive. Now there's a bit of a breathing room as Pulsar are now forced to use whatever they have available, and it's not much. It's maybe El Chabagoob having the Let the Devil Out to go with, but I imagine he's looking to try and coordinate with Tree Man, who's still a way away from having this, like, retribution to work with. Isidore might find an opportunity, it depends, but they're finding and isolating these picks, they're staggering them, and there's not a lot of time for Pulsar to make this work. I do think Kizaru has Portal, though.
I mean, yeah, but Pulsar Esports, if they use Portal, everyone is just going to have zero angle control. Shikigami are going to be able to play the rest of their team so safely as long as Isidore gets to hold on to the convoy objective control on the Emma with that Sonic Seduction. Meanwhile, Frost Mountain's building up the next Let the Devil Out. They'll be able to take advantage of the split that Pulsar Esports have to have. One person on the convoy to keep overtime and play the rest of the team vulnerable without any element of peel. And Shikigami don't even let them walk past. There's the Sonic Seduction. The rest of the team kiting away from the Emma, run afoul of the Daredevil instead. And Pulsar Esports, they've lost Kizaru. They've lost any opportunity to stall for a Portal play. I think this is where the objective will end, Ryan, as Kizaru will be able to activate the Portal, but it might be able...
No!
Oh, no, the body block. It doesn't make it in time, and Shikigami complete the hold.
It looked close, for sure. But yeah, Shikigami taking a lot of good control. I mean, it was the pivot in the middle of the game, like, to the Emma Frost, showing that, like, I think a lot of people were expecting not much of Emma in play after, like, some of the adjustments that she had. But still, like, it was just the perfect position to use it. And how much that both these teams played around the Daredevil. And the difference, I suppose, Chabagoob wants to be a little bit more threatening to the backline. Frost Mountain's job is pretty much to be like in sort of American football, to just keep body checking him and not giving him that space.
It wasn't just that, it was also the tempo change too. Like, you're so used to playing the rhythm of just full dive, full dive, full dive into full dive, full dive, full dive, and then all of a sudden Shikigami just rewrite the script entirely. And it's sort of like that record scratch moment where your brain takes a moment to just like refocus and comprehend. Pulsar Esports, like the moment they lost that momentum on the attack, they got boxed into their spawn, and Shikigami were able to just play multiple win conditions, taking the dive 1 versus 1 onto multiple players on the side of Pulsar Esports, while still being able to retain objective control with the anchor of the ammo.
I do like the composition of Shikigami is sort of playing around. Isidore, known for the whole previously, you haven't seen it in quite some time. And Kaya,
Do we think it's fastball, or do we think that this is actually going to be sticking with the Hulk though?
Could be column A, column B. You've got the Jeff in play too, so it might just be a like come out of these spawn doors at pace. They've gone in for the leap to try to hit it, and it feels almost like cartoonish that we don't get to see just how brutal the action is because it's just been pulled off screen. Not quite found the pick, but look at the health. Like Pulsar were brought down low, and they've had to give up a lot of this space initially, straight off the bat.
Oh, one's grabbed out of position, and it's Kizaru. There's the fastball too. So that Frost Mountain can continue applying that pressure before Pulsar can kite away from it. The Wolverine, though, does get pushed off of the map. Great reaction coming on through from Treeman, and that should be able to slow Shikigami down at least a little bit. As we can see, the force physics is there and connects onto Kaya, so the Magneto goes mid-air.
It's a bit of a drop-off for Kai. He's going to be out for a second, though. But there's still, like, some semblance of, like, control. Keeping the point touch, but wanting to regroup. Keep Pulsar guessing exactly where this fight is going to be coming from. Now, Chabagoob is going to get that information. Sabatic is trying to play from distance, use this, like, long range that Jean Grey has. But the Wolverine, it was almost a horror jump scare diving in. Able to disengage, but they've had to give up that position.
Oh, that fastball. Yeah, that was a scary moment for Zapatix to have to deal with, and Isidore feels confident to just continue brawling, using those jumps as well as the bulwark bubble to just give Shikigami the opportunity of staying in longer as opposed to soft diving, baiting resources, getting out, stabilizing, and going in again. And that means that the dive tempo actually plays against Pulsar in this instance. Kizaru is tasked with trying to set up the strange teleport for the recontest, but who's going to stall on the side of Pulsar Esports? Even if they get the portal through, it feels like it's just going to be baiting resources. Nana using that Raging Roll flush, the Wolverine's Feral Grab taking Kizaru out of position so they can't hide behind the Strange Shield when they come for the teleport, and it forces the invisible boundary with the Ensong Inferno looking to capitalize on the players on Shikigami, who's slowed.
Yeah, he's dove in as well, so we don't quite have the Hellchild in play just yet, but enough to try to stall this out a little bit more. Means that it might be a chance for the Report play if this goes a little bit further from Pulsar, if it goes on to the second objective. But we do see, like, Ultra Hulk moving his way through, creating a lot of space, not able to sort of get the grab, but he's able to make sure that Pulsar are all just sort of coming from one direction, which opens up space for this dive to be punished, for one, for Treeman, but also Laylis to go for these flanks if he wants.
I mean, Shikigami, they should win this fight. It's just a matter of how much it costs them. Lapsus uses the Eternal Bond to be able to dodge out of the damage coming through from Feast of the Abyss. So Lindstrom's able to come on through with the Invisible Boundary now that he doesn't have to worry about Eternal Bond pushing them out of it. Unfortunately, Darkchild is taken down as we get a really good XL actually coming out to find a late elimination onto Lapsus, which is now going to have significant impact into Pulsar's ability to fight close on second. They're down a strategist, and Shikigami already forging ahead to take all of the map space they can, while Pulsar Esports
I did not know my
down
mic
really
was off.
crucial players.
That's my fault.
Setting a faster time, I think, overall, but it's more of just the cadence that Shikigami are able to set. It can all be ruined, especially once they get onto, like, the staircase. Pulsar is able to reach the top, but not the second checkpoint.
That cancel was crazy.
Shikigami have 3 minutes to try to break.
I said, why did that dude get off of Daredevil? But he is destroying as Wolverine. Yeah, Shikigami, dude. Shikigami all the way.
Switching over towards the Psylocke, finding a lot of, like, picks in the end, and it has forced Shikigami to reset for the time being.
Yeah, Kizaru's off of this range, was not having a fun time, like you said, into the Wolverine in particular. As Pulsar Esports, they will be coming up to good ultimates.
At least against these guys.
Shikigami also have all of theirs to just take the tempo. Name can open up with this Raging Roll Flush, or they could just go first with
They
Layla,
fucked up
force
with
out
that
the
strange
Invisible
portal.
Boundary, and have the Gambit ultimate to overcome
Oh.
it. As Selechi gets grabbed out, just manages to get the Invisible Boundary up in time, but Frost manages
Hell
to
yes,
pin on
dude.
the last stand, grabs the the Invisible Woman directly out of the ultimate, and you might as well not even have seen the ultimate for the value it found.
This is just a great isolation. You've got the last stand that pulled people out.
It really is.
On one side and Leolus with the Dance of the Butterflies on the other. So pick your poison, really. Both of the duelists finding so much. And there's a stall that's attempted from Treeman. He's so low, he can't do all that much. Hulk having ultimate is going to pull it out. So if anybody really wants to get close, you might want to reconsider your options, as Pulsar not able to actually get anybody to stall it out in the end. Shikigami blister.
Let's go, Shikigami!
And find themselves a nice Swift to
Let's go, dude.
Yeah, Shikigami, it just felt like they full controlled the tempo.
They
From start to finish of that
destroyed
entire
them, dude.
round. Really doing like a great job with the Wolverine as well, getting to come through with the last stand, cancelling out the
Dude,
impact of
they
Invisible
actually
Boundary,
destroyed them.
potentially have used to buy themselves a precious 8 seconds of
Holy
stabilizing
cow,
battery
dude.
up a win condition once it drops. Shiki just say, no, we understand that that's going to be your potential win condition, and we're going to stop it. As we got the Hulk that we talked about, we said that we were potentially going to be seeing a little bit more of this Vanguard. We also got Kaya's Venom, and it really has been just the crown in the jewel for this team from last year.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody seems to be hitting their stride, really, and it makes sense when you look at the success that this team had over in like season 5 of MRC. But I think it's more like seeing like Isidore start to shine a little bit more often. I think last time we were focusing a lot on just how Kaya was performing. It was the namesake team for him, but like his Venom especially looked really threatening despite Venom losing a little bit of his strength at that time. But Isidore showing why Hulk is still a good threat and the perfect connection with Frostmountain. I mean, one thing to highlight more is just like Frostmountain versus El Chabagoob is a good head-to-head with how they play melee, but Frostmountain just looks so good right now. It's perfect for him, the characters he's able to play.
We've known Frostmountain for a bit. They've always been a very flexible player. They've even done stuff like the Storm in previous metas, even without like the Jeff Nado, just to like really just adjust. But that was such good marking by Frostmountain, starting off with the Daredevil to react to the magic, and then swapping to the Wolverine to counteract the defense. I do want to say some moments are brilliant from Pulsar. There is something there. We just need to see them stabilize a little bit. I especially enjoyed
Dude,
the
I mean, they destroyed. What up, Mario? How you doing, bro?
Yeah.
Dude, Shikigami destroyed them, bro.
This is
Holy
exactly
shit.
what we wanted to see from Shikigami. Isidore and the Hulk and the Groot across the two.
Let's go, Shikigami.
Incredible performance just start to finish. Leo is
Fine,
just
I'm at work.
silently just picking people
Sounds
over and
fun.
over again. They went 11 and 2 in that series.
Sounds fun,
We
sounds fun.
love talking about Leo, former console champion in season
Dude.
0, moved over to PC and has been in Ignite basically from the start and has just been performing so well.
Yeah,
Nice
I know.
run.
Shikigami
Shikigami
actually
making a
put
fantastic
in that
name for
work.
himself here, and the organization moving over to the Americas, as you say,
Nah, so fun.
Will be extremely happy with that pickup.
Yeah, I think also just like on the side of like Pulsar in this case, like looking at their strength of schedule, they have Alter Esports tomorrow, which is a major game for them to try to like rewrite
What's the next
strength,
match?
I suppose, like make that a lot more competitive against the team that qualified through MRC, but also they have Team Heretics on Sunday, which is a very difficult matchup. You don't
We're
really
in
know
tournament
what to
mode
do
right
at
now,
this point,
Mario.
but it really is just a case of like you've got 2 tough games out. That middle one tomorrow is the must win for them if they want a chance for playoffs.
And Moxie, what do Pulsar need to adjust? What do they need to do heading into that Alter game?
I think like we
Pulsar
them
needs to get
try
their
go
shit
for
together.
those
That's what they need
positions
to
the way
do.
that like,
They
send
need to get their
the
shit
magic all the way
together,
around to
and they need to
flank
run
try and
shit, bro.
Split Shikigami's attention. The problem was it was a little bit predictable of how to play the dive, and Shikigami just countered them at every possible turn. So I think for Pulsar being able to not just be like full dive hit style, but also maybe go
They
for
need to get their shit
displacement
together,
dive of
bro.
literally just have one person
Or else they're
pull
not gonna win a
attention of
damn thing.
multiple, and
The
then
same thing
rest
will
of the
happen.
team takes advantage of the rest of the space. Because it wasn't just Chabagoob getting picked apart by the Daredevil early on. It was also Treeman. Like, we saw multiple times the Angela try to go from behind and grab players from Shikigami, buy a little bit more space for the rest of his team, and then the Angela would just be on the ground in the space of about 3 seconds because Shikigami baited themselves perfectly, calmed when the Angela was close, and dealt with her instantly.
It was magnificent to see, and we are going to have an interview with Kaya.
Oh,
Almost
shit, interview.
whenever we were back
Interview.
this season, it would be the titular Kaya. but we will be getting into an interview with them in just a moment. But we talked about them in map number 1. Let's talk a little bit about map
Hold
number
on here,
2 for
chat.
the backline of Shikigami. Lindstrom and Name, they started off with just a heavy defense on the first series with that Loki taken away from them in series number 2, but still seemed complete.
Sony is raising PlayStation 5 prices again, this time by between $100 and $150. So how much is it?
Making a difference. These two in the backline are working beautifully together, right?
Yeah, I think it's also like for Lindstrom in this case, like we sort of expect.
So how much is it?
Be like a rock in that backline because of like getting to experience playing with Virtus Pro. Alcatia were very well structured in that approach, but like Name and Frost Mountain, because they both came from like OG Seed and like 0%.
Hold on, I'm trying to see.
Like,
Hey,
really started to put
if you're trying to get a PlayStation, bro,
is a bit weird,
at time.
Looking with Kyron Season 5, I'm like, okay, this team is actually really well drilled. But it's the fact that they've really like dotted their I's and
Available now.
In a meta that
Now
is very
400
open,
has it been for on
flat,
this is
like,
digital was
from
300.
Stop. They let a lot of stuff through to see what they could sort of work with, and it didn't matter.
Digital was
had
300.
Right off the board, but they made really good.
And then
picks.
regular one was
I think
400.
Name, in that backline, working off of Lindstrom, really starting to show why he was picked up for this team and why Shikigami picked up the team as a whole.
Couldn't agree more. And just the adjustments you said, the team being able to pivot when needed. Was
Now they bring out a
to
terabyte
see.
one.
So
2
right now, the
terabyte.
question for Shikigami isn't how
Take
well
the
they-
quiz.
like,
There's a
how well they-
PlayStation
are they gonna make
quiz.
it to playoffs or anything like that. Right now, the question might be where.
It's now $549, bro. Was this less?
Already been able to play Dive to a level that they were able to achieve with Kaya last year, you can then apply that same formula of
Ooh,
if you know how to play it, you know how to play against it.
These covers
Something that
are
Shikigami showed off in
more than a game.
spades in this matchup.
I was 2D for a moment there, but I have returned to the land of
We
the
were
living when it comes
TVA
to
for a
that.
second, like we saw like a glimpse beneath the curtain, but I mean, it's day one. Like, we'll say that.
Exactly. Exactly. We're just waiting for our interview to get set up, and then we'll be jumping into talking with Kaya. Not so much cooking, but talking with at minimum.
Oh,
answering
dang,
the
so she got-
questions that we
she got
do
terabyte.
want.
Huh.
But while
Have
we're
we
waiting for
spoke
that,
to Kaya before? We ever
I
interviewed?
don't know if we have.
I don't think we have. Yeah. I mean, I'm really excited because I think it's like it's seeing just any of the players. I mean, that's what made that like phase team really interesting for me and Chopped in stage 2 of like we sort of saw like a showing of these players. Like, yeah, they're pretty decent, but like the actual teams themselves didn't perform that amazingly or didn't do that well. But then you see some of the roster moves, and then suddenly they're like top 4, top 6 without an org, and you're like, oh, I underestimated these guys. And it seems that, like you said, where is the ceiling for Shikigami? Because I have them definitely like giving Team Heretics a good shot, but I think Virtus Pro need to be a little bit. Sorry, now they need to be a little bit careful as well because this team has got a lot of practice and a lot of reps in recently.
And we will be seeing from Team Heretics later on.
It
today.
honestly
That's
is
our
pretty
last series
crazy.
of the day. We've already seen Na'Vi come out swinging. While we wait for the interview to get set up, Team Heretics playing last today against Team Pep. So this is going to be the debut for both of these teams. New rosters coming on in to see what they can do. And our next matchup, I've been seeing some excitement about it. Of course, we have the world champions, Virtus Pro, and they are playing against MRC qualifiers Crownful. And that's 2 MRC teams having to face up against former world champions in one day. A rough opportunity for Alter and Crownful. We'll have to see if it does go
Interesting,
differently.
interesting,
What are our
interesting, bro.
thoughts on this? Like Moxie mentioned, we haven't seen Virtus Pro. They've been in the bunker.
I mean, rightfully so, though. Like, everyone looks at the teams that lead metas. Virtus Pro would have been one of those teams. When we were around, like, the Marvel Rivals Championship, people would have been looking to see what they were up to, what compositions they were playing, how they would be fitting the latest heroes to the Rivals roster into. And I mean, on that note, I cannot wait to get to see how they're implementing things like potentially White Fox, Vanguard Deadpool as well. I feel like is going to suit Virtus Pro's playstyle incredibly well, because even when we got to see them last at Atlanta, they were playing Dive, but they were playing it to the tempo of Rush. They were getting like so aggressive, they would steamroll through your whole team in about 5 seconds, and that is literally Vanguard Deadpool's MO to a T.
Seriously.
We have our interview ready. We are going to be jumping into chat to Kaya from Shikigami after what was a fantastic introduction. So let's head over there now. Kaya, what a performance. What a debut once again coming on in. How are you feeling after your first win of preseason?
Just feeling great. It went as planned, so I'm happy and team's happy.
We love to hear that. So we have to start off with the ask of, you guys came in with some different strategies to what we've seen from the other teams today. You brought out the Groot, you brought out, of course, the fastball with the fastball special with the Hulk and the Wolverine. How much more are we to expect to see in terms of strategies that we might not have seen so far?
Oh, we play like so many different comps, and like we're super flexible. We can basically run every tank, every DPS, every support. So you will see us playing a lot of different stuff.
Speaking about different stuff, we have to talk about the difference in terms of ultimate generation.
Why is he-
and where that's led compositions into much more of a neutral-based focus.
Never mind.
How did you sort of adapt as a team into the new environment, which is rivals having a much longer neutral and a much longer build-up to the ultimate generation?
I think it actually fits us a lot better now, because one thing we struggled a bit against was just teams just only playing for those ults, like they weren't doing anything and they were only playing for ults. That was like something we struggled with, but we see now on this patch you can't really do that anymore. So we feel like one of our weaknesses is like essentially like pretty much removed. So it feels good.
I want to talk a
Interesting.
little bit about like season 5, MRC, cooking with Kaya.
Season
That's
5?
the team that the
Dog, we on season 7.
Like, what was it about that team that's really caught like the Og's eye, do you think? And what have you worked on since MRC at the start of this year? Like, you had a really good showing, and I'm glad that you guys got picked up. But what did you feel? Okay, now that we're signed, we have to focus on this aspect of our game to really be pushing the top.
I mean, we're just focusing on, just like polishing our gameplay, like in general. Like, I think we are super comfortable on all our characters, like individually. So we're just looking to basically just not feed. That's basically our goals. Like we just don't feed, and we're better than everyone else. So this is like. So we don't feed,
Looking to cook, but not to feed. The anti-restaurant strategy.
Looking to cook, not to feed.
Incredible start for Shikigami here today, and as I say for everyone, this is a couple of yours first time. A lot of you have been in Ignite before, but
I ain't gonna lie, that's kind of a bar though.
Just getting to know you guys at Shikigami, what do you have to say to the audience out there, or to your opponents that might be waiting for you?
It's just, I see everyone putting us in like third, like literally everyone. Not a single person has put us above third through this like prediction. Oh, but
I got you second and
shit.
Third, yeah.
I think I have him third.
I haven't seen anyone, but I think like we should be considered as like a contender for top in our group, and I mean, yeah, just don't underestimate us.
My fault, dog. My fault, dog.
Shikigami. Wise words, and ones that I think have already been proven. And Kaya, thank you very much for joining us. We'll let you go celebrate with your team and prepare for the following games.
Thank you.
A great start by Shikigami, putting on an incredible performance, and also Kaya, absolutely lovely. More strategies. Don't underestimate us. And those are two scary words to hear.
Don't underestimate us.
Against a team that's that flexible.
Bro was on demon time, bro.
Who are confident enough to say, yeah, no, people putting us third, which I'm guilty of, have made a mistake.
You all got called out. I felt vindicated.
I mean, I will say, I put them third with the stipulation. I feel like anyone in my top 3 could come at any possible position combination. And I think, like, Tetch is the same. Like, it really is incredibly hard to
Kinda got
call,
called
like,
out, I ain't gonna lie to you.
between Shikigami, Na'Vi, and Heretics. Of those 3 teams, they're going to end up.
Heretic.
Well, we're going to find out a little bit more about Heretics later on. But for now, we're going to head to a break because it's a World Champions time coming up after this. We're going to be getting ready for our next matchup, which is Virtus Pro versus Crownfall. Don't go anywhere.
Dude. They legit said, nah, we should not be this low. And you know what? You know what? That's my fault for putting them that low, bro. I ain't even gonna hold you. That's my fault for putting them that low. And for that, bro, I'm sorry. For that, bro, I am so sorry. Bam, bam. Fucking Dumbledore. Ooh. All right. The next match is coming up shortly. Next match is coming up shortly. Damn, this song kind of goes crazy. I can't put it on. Probably copyright. Bam, 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 bam. Ba-na, ba, 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 ba-na.
Hold still. I'm trying to help.
Lights out.
Again, the new cloak. Dude, every match has been 2-0'd. Every match has been 2-0'd.
Us against the world.
That is kind of cool, though.
My time to shine.
Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, the matches I've been pretty much there's been a couple blowouts, but nothing crazy. Nothing crazy.
Behold, Dark Child! Survive this!
Yeah, nothing crazy. Ba, 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 na. Nothing too crazy.
Congratulations on making your way to the big leagues, Crownfall. You get to play against Virtus Pro. Welcome back from the break. We're getting ready to head into our 4th series of the day. I am still Tetra, still joined by Got Moxie and Ryan Central. Crownfall, our MRC team have to play the world champions.
Yikes.
Who wants to try and build up Crownfall to give them the motivation here?
You get out the way first. Kind of like going to the dentist. Just get it over with, and then you don't need to worry about it for another 6 months. But it is like a hard opponent. It means that you can sort of get used to the nerves. But Virtus Pro, they're not going to have any world champions experienced at the top.
Moxie, we said hard opponent. Tell us about him.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally going to be impossible to come out of Ban Draft without letting Virtus Pro have one of their best, if not their best heroes, because Psylocke is back in meta, Star-Lord is back in meta, Daredevil never left meta, and they're getting to already play
He really
the
hasn't.
Captain America plus the Venom double dive of Vanguard that we got to see previously in Atlanta, as well as just like the backline. Dridro has been improving so massively towards things like the Cloak and Dagger, as well as that Jeff, and Saipe is arguably the best Marvel Rivals player in the whole game. Now gets the opportunity to grab his hands on a new strategist. Like, this is Virtus Pro's meta, surely.
But Ryan, this is not a foregone conclusion. There is still a best of 3 to go through, and these are their opponents fighting their way through MRC Crownfall.
Yeah, this is a team that's made like a couple of adjustments, notably Rosa moving away from like Alter Esports onto this team. Him and Abuhu give more of like an experienced Vanguard line in comparison to Low, but it is like this team qualified through MRC Season 6, but we saw a couple of players of MJD and FHD play on it in Season 5. Abuhu was the only player, I think it was a substitute for Cookie.
You say
Messiah,
Boohoo?
that is like moved over from that team up to this one, but you have like a mix of like some of the like Middle Eastern like Saudi players and stuff that got some experience in Stage 2, as well as like Rosa and Abuhu that played for OG Seed, L9.
Nah, he is saying Boohoo.
It's a good
What is you
mix, I
talking
think,
about?
for a team, but it's like the likes of Derby and stuff that have really shown up, and you have to keep an eye on for the future, certainly for the season of Ignite.
Could not agree more. There's a lot of potential on this team, but now is their time to prove it. While we also unlock Virtus Pro from the Vault, we haven't seen what they've been doing. Moxie said it earlier. They haven't played in tournaments like Na'Vi have.
No,
They haven't
honestly.
shown us anything. We have not seen them since the World Championships. And we're first going to see them here on Celestial Husk for the second time. We're going to start off with some hefty brawls.
I'm pretty sure I did see Blaney put all of the players in a big suitcase at the end of Grand Finals, actually. Like, there was no after party. They were just boxed up, and I think they've quite rightfully taken a big break, because not only these guys played for all of Ignite and the Invitational, they were playing in, like, pre-season, pre-beta, like, tournaments.
Yeah.
Anything that they could get their hands on, they were involved with. So, quite rightfully, after being world champions, took a well-deserved break.
I can't wait to see, like, what's the composition gonna be? Or do you even show your new compositions as well? Because, like, I think it might be a really safe play for Virtus Pro if they just show what we already know of, right? The Psylocke, the Star-Lord, the Daredevil, potentially not even changing, like, your backline all that much. You don't have to show White Fox if you don't want to show off the White Fox, so you can hold on to some of your strategies, because you know every team, not just the ones in EMEA's region, are going to be watching Virtus Pro's gameplay with a magnifying glass to work out what exactly.
First of all, if you
makes
have a
their composition
magnifying
tick.
glass, bro.
If you're going to copy someone, you copy the best.
Come on,
The
bro, what are
world
we doing?
champions, But not just that. Season 0 was Team Cat.
What are we
Season 1,
doing?
Season 2, every MRC they've been eligible for. Every Ignite except for Stage 1 of EMEA. That is the only tournament that Virtus Pro have not won that they've played in. And they're looking to try and continue that streak as we're going to be getting ready to head into Celestial.
Water coming home.
Shortly,
Here's the threat of the play.
newer on the block. They are the team that's going to need to surprise here. While Virtus Pro might be looking to not show stuff, Crownfall, they got nothing to lose. Might as well just throw everything at the wall and see what happens.
Honestly, I think for Virtus Pro, like, the biggest struggle tends to be in games like this is the interview afterwards and not just revealing stuff, but we probed them, like, but I think it's like, for Virtus Pro, yeah, we're expecting them to win here, and we're expecting them to win dominantly against the team that came through MRC, like, naturally, But Virtus Pro haven't been completely infallible in series. They have dropped a couple of maps. They have dropped some series.
There she go again. She went,
I don't know if it'll be here, but Virtus Pro can show gaps. We'll see.
I think this is a good indicator as well to where Crownfall could potentially fall within their group, as we are, like we said, going to be weighing them up against Reason and Vision a lot.
There's only one way to find out, though, and that's just by starting. A very good place to begin. Let's head on into our first map of Crownfall versus Virtus Pro.
There we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Begin at the end, I guess. Unless you're doing some like weird
Spider-Man
film where it's like very like back to front. But
Spider-Man?
We are seeing sort of this thing build up. Virtus Pro actually happy and open to let the other team potentially have a one-sided Elsa. They want to make sure that they get Gambit 100%.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it earlier, right? Kaya's team were more than happy to let the Elsa go through because they understood that they could still put pressure on it by diving it. And as we said, Virtus Pro are a very aggressive dive-coded team that do like to do a whole lot of setups. What concerns me is that Daredevil is still in this ban draft, and even with Crownfall being able to secure the Elsa for their side, Virtus Pro still have FaZe Daredevil currently in play, as Loki is removed for both of these teams, but Virtus Pro also get the one-sided Gambit.
Why, bro?
There's the Daredevil ban that we were
What's
expecting.
wrong with Loki?
I think if you're weighing up like the Daredevil or the
I mean, that's
Psylocke,
fair. Loki
Daredevil
is
being able to give that information, so you don't even rely on just
Loki is still
the
crazy good,
elimination
bro.
value he can bring to the table, but more so being able to coordinate those hits as quickly as Virtus Pro can is a much more valuable resource to remove from the side of Virtus Pro.
Yeah, Daredevil banned out, Invisible Woman hovered over, so at least there's something for the backline to be working with, as you're not going to have access to the Gambit. More just to give yourself, if you can hold the point, great to try to keep a position on it. So Daredevil is going to be banned out on the other side too. So is the Deadpool Vanguard is probably going to be the one-sided protect choice here for Virtus Pro. Maybe they leave it open to try to throw some other curveballs Crownfall's way, but with the success that we've seen from Deadpool Vanguard, especially on these domination maps, seems almost certain.
Dude, there was again. Stop
There
moaning in the
it
mic,
is.
bro.
As I said, like, it plays perfectly to Virtus Pro's just way of getting to play these domination maps, as Crownfall are actually going to be able to secure themselves one-sided Jeff, but we do still have aspects of Virtus Pro's dive. Also, Saipe could potentially go for the White Fox that is currently being teased, and I would really hope to get to see that White Fox come on through to see how it's going to change up the tempo that Virtus Pro play. Is it going to be aggressively using the Sanctuary Teleport to get Saipe into the mix of things, or is it going to be used more as a defensive so that if Crownfall put pressure on your backline, you can simply kite out of any threat?
Yeah, it's whether they can work from here. I've also noticed that we saw Saipe picking up a couple more like Lord titles themselves. Spider-Man is the new one. I think it was Mr. Fantastic that I was very keen on seeing, but haven't seen him in action today, which is completely understandable, just sad.
What's wrong with Mr. Fantastic?
Like, we're gonna be seeing the Jeff come through with FHDC on the Psylocke, so probably some
Bro has
avenue of
beef
dive
for no
once
reason.
Rosa sets up a strange TP and then swaps onto, I would imagine, the Venom, given you're running the Jeff for symbiotic shenanigans. So then we would see the team core split. You've got half of your team playing dive and trying to put pressure onto Virtus Pro, so the rest of your team gets less attention towards them, and MJD on that Elsa can start pumping out the damage and potentially finding these eliminations. As doors open and Crownfall, I would assume, are still standing outside their respawn looking for a teleport, but no, it actually looks like they're walking instead of using the teleport to take a high ground control.
Just going by, maybe to just sort of keep this fight stalled out and fighting in the end, but like Crownfall now trying to play around the trunk. Good sort of showing of that it's this very front-to-back approach that Crownfall are trying to go for, whereas the dive, trying to set up some better sight lines, it looks like, for Dreidro, looking to see what he's going to go in. The group wall trying to break up and isolate these engagements, but Virtus Pro
all that.
quickly get to the right side of it.
I mean, speaking about quickly, look at the ult charge for Fi on the Vanguard Deadpool. Banhammer is about to be on the field, and I'm sure it's going to be coming towards Crownfall strategist.
Come on,
in
Crownfall.
a matter of moments, but first blood comes through on the side of Crownfall. Abuhu and Rosa pick up Finzi as well as Saipe. There's the Deadpool ultimate invested so that Virtus.pro can look to try and even the score, find a couple of trades, and potentially still like Crownfall's objective cap.
Root's still that
Because
dude, bro.
first cap goes the way of Crownfall, and now FHDC on the Psylocke can apply a little bit of pressure, I would say that. Saipe with the Force Physics secures the elimination. Turns out that the Invisible Woman sees through the Psylocke shenanigans.
Yeah, if there's a team that you're not going to just get space because you assume that you're going to get it, it's Virtus.pro. They will find picks out of seemingly nowhere and even on the most unsuspected of players. The dive's still committed though. Fai in on the strain, trying to see if he can get the pick up to the group. He can. It's Jeff. He has to avoid it. Hopped up into the air. Don't think it actually connects onto anybody, but he's trying to disengage. He's taken out from Finzi from the Meteor M.
Wow.
So
Go Gambit.
Absolute riot from Virtus.pro. They clean up the fight and engagement. Whilst it was maybe surprising Crownfall took it first, it didn't take too long to go into the other hands.
Yeah, but it did cost them that Raging Royal Flush from Jidro, so you don't have it to synergize with Sparker's ultimate. Virtus.pro do, however, have a couple of things they can use to force Darby's, but if they use Invisible Woman to mirror Darby's, then FHDC gets a
they're rocking 3 tanks.
Sparker's in the same camp, however. So it
3 tanks,
definitely
1
feels like we're
DPS,
about to
2
see
healers.
A lot of ultimates invested, and the team that can find more value with them will be able to
I'm
work out
Crownfall,
the winner
you
of
gotta-
this engagement. As
I don't
first
know.
ultimate comes off, it's Heartbreaker that forces Darby into using Invisible Boundary. Sparker's just gonna hold ult though, Ryan. 8 seconds pass, and this Starlord's home free.
Doesn't even need to use it. Dance the Butterfly is going to try to be used, and it's just a simple case of dash out of it if you can. So Virtus.pro have plenty to put this one to bed, but they have control of the objective.
Nice.
They're still finding picks. They could just sit
That
back, to be
Gambit's
honest,
actually
like,
really
keep us
nice.
halfway to build up another Royal Flush at this rate.
That Gambit is
I
really
mean, if
nice
you're
with it.
Crownfall, you would probably look for a Strangling Prison combined with the Apex Predator coming through from MJD as FHD
Randy
is actually
Orton.
going to move off of the Psylocke onto the Phoenix, play a little bit more range, not having to commit into a distance that Saipe can punish with the Force Physics. As Virtus.pro take that turn first, no Invisible Woman, no Invisible Boundary. Out comes the Galactic Legend. Finzi gets the eat as well onto Strangling Prison from Abuhu, and Crownfall just lose their win conditions. They have to lose the fight fast, look for a regroup, and try to push forward.
Crownfall,
with
bro.
the threat of Apex Predator stopping Virtus.pro from grouping up.
Really feels that these long sightlines that we're seeing have been really employed nicely from Virtus.pro. They're aligned quite literally in how they're taking these fights. Just trying to battle
Crownfall needs an ult.
Crownfall is setting up on his defense. They're at least trying to retake the objective. You got a Royal Flush that might allow Virtus.pro to go in on the offensive yet again as it
Damn, dude.
30%. Now you've got the It's Jeff used with the Apex Predator. Whether it's going to like combine in some fashion or whether the Chaos is exactly what they're hoping for
I'm
remains
Jeff.
to be seen. Jeff trying to isolate a target, but with all of this going on, Moxie.
Poor
Crownfall
Crownfall, bro.
Yep, no one's on point. Crownfall, unfortunately, losing Celestial Vault as its Jeff does not count as contesting. And even then, I don't think Ayano Koji was even on the point. As Darby is going to have that Invisible Boundary for first fight, at least you can potentially pair up against Taipei and then use FHDC to break through Virtus.pro's sustainability. But no, they actually give up the 70% plus charge to Ensong and swap FHDC back onto the Psylocke.
We've also got maybe Sparker going for the Punisher, probably to just get rid of some of these group walls for Boohoo. We've already seen like the group being played here, the very tight chokes to play.
Well, yeah,
from,
Groot
from
is
a lot of
literally-
value. Sparker's like, don't worry guys. Don't
fact
worry
that
about
they don't
that.
ban
I'm
Groot
just gonna
is
break him.
crazy
I mean,
to
great
me.
synergy as well with the Raging Royal Flush. Like, multiple times we've seen Punisher get punished for a lack of mobility within Final Judgment. That goes out the window and your Punisher goes fully into the enemy team if he's equipped with the Gambit ultimate. As Finzi's actually going to be starting on the Strange here. Is this going to be a TP from the side of Virtus.pro? They're not walking, so I would imagine so. Hold on a minute, they kidnapped Abuhu.
They seem to have. It's a bit of a weird fight, but it has forced Cypher to use the Invisible Boundary. So it's a little bit more chaotic as the Venn diagram is going to provide the off-objective engagement. But it seems
This
that
is great for
Crownfall are taking a
Fiverr.
lot of space. Yeah, they seem to have like managed to take the space and might be able to contest it, but Virtus.pro, having numbers, still able to fight the 6v6.
Well, there's no Invisible Boundary now for Darby, which means when Fly gets Banhammer up, a strategist is almost guaranteed to fall. Virtus.pro with all of the ultimates send Rogue to open up the space first. Nevix diving into the whole team with the Heartbreaker, which denies Rosa the opportunity of Meteor M, staving off the momentum. And we talked about it, right? This is the tempo role that Virtus.pro love to play on domination. Find a space. Take
Very
advantage,
aggressive,
pick 'em
too.
up.
Holy shit.
Especially when it was Crownfall that was trying to dictate the pace with the portal play. It seemed that the dive was pretty good and
No, it was
uncomfortable for a
Virtus
moment.
Pro. Virtus Pro
yeah, so
portals
you're right, sorry,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
caught Crownfall mid-rotation through choke, which is how Abuhu ended up taking a wrong turn outside Virtus Pro's own spawn.
It was definitely like disorientating. Both teams trying to work out which side that they were playing from. But yeah, Virtus Pro like not really wanting to just like Crownfall set up in these engagements. And now when you've got the Punisher and the Royal Flush ready, it is Dreamdrill that goes down first. So I do wonder if the ultimate's going to be used as a response or whether Sparkus is going to hold on to it.
Banhammer comes on through alongside Aya Agamotto, catching both Darby and MJD.
Good.
Koji's able to dodge it with the use of Eternal Bond. Rosa to the Meteor M. So Virtus Pro, they look like they're just going to disengage, wait for Dread to come back, recontest with the Raging Royal Flush. Now that you don't have to worry about Meteor M and Eternal Bond stopping your final judgment from Sparker's side. They have lost control of the point, however, and Crownfall kited out
Good
the
Brood ult,
initial
good
engagement,
Invis ult,
which
good.
allows them to hold on to the point, now forcing Saipe into investing Invisible Boundary for Virtus Pro to confirm the flip.
Oh, but they...
Dabby's managed to force physics his way back for Spark, and Invisible Boundaries provided some window of like relief, but you've still got players from Crownfall trying to fight in it, and Virtus Pro not giving them any space. Portal is going to be dedicated. Whilst they still have the objective and working their way up towards 30%, but they lose...
Now,
some
why would you
time. The
portal
Dagger does
right
go
there,
down.
though?
No ultimates are going to be used in this moment. There's none
Why would you
available for
portal right
Crownfall
there?
to use in a response, but they are doing a pretty good job at stalling this as numbers are just trying to come out one at a time from the portal. It's gone down for the moment of Virtus Pro looking to take things back as Crownfall at the very least have matched them on progression.
I mean, that fight going long is good for point percentage for Crownfall. It's also great for ultimate economy for Virtus Pro. And also, they know that Strange just used teleport, which means that they can actually hold a little bit closer and go for first point of contact with Nevix on that Heartbreaker as Crownfall try to cross through those
Now you have to
chokes
wait
and onto the point
180
itself.
seconds,
So
bro.
we're seeing a little bit of a wraparound again back into the bunker for Crownfall, keeping their backline a little bit safer from the side of Virtus Pro as they have to get ready to disengage this Rogue Ultimate when Virtus Pro decide to full send it.
Now, how's the fight gonna go? You've got the final judgment coming through with a Royal Flush. It's brutal, at least off the back of it, but you've got the Heartbreaker and then the Banhammer. If there's anything that's going to dictate a fight, those three ultimates are certainly going to work, and now they're pushing on to make sure that a portal play can't be in the process for Crownfall. I mean, they used it earlier, so I don't know if it's even going to be available already yet.
No.
Or at least they're going to put bodies in the way to stop the touch.
There's no
happening,
way.
to force overtime, something that Crownfall weren't able to do last. It seems to be like a mad dash and approach. At least the Wick was activated, but losing a Boohoo, it's going to be one player at a time to try to stall this out. Virtus Pro not giving them even a view of what this objective is going to be. Finzi cleans up two with the Eye of Agamotto and then the Maelstrom afterwards. And it's a 2-0 win for Virtus Pro. Start to see them in 2026 for Ignite. And the domination
Dude,
map
Virtus
handed
Pro
over.
laid that
Yeah,
whipping
great
on
Eye
him.
of Agamotto there to end things off as it did catch the Cloak and Dagger, who was 92% to that Eternal Bond, which might have allowed Crownfall to be able to sustain the overtime fight and spin it into a position where it was winnable.
Well, didn't they have a mag?
Like, you get Rogue,
Probably.
you get
I don't think
Gambit,
so,
you
though.
get Punisher, those three ultimates, every time you hit that cycle, you're going to win the fight.
Strong showing. It's sort of
They did have a
expected,
mag.
I would say
No, they
for
didn't.
like Sparker to
Cancel
be
the team.
getting 11 final hits is kind of ridiculous. 25-0, even more so.
Look at all those animated profiles,
Pretty
dude.
much
Holy.
coming from
What
the
up,
run
Noah?
that he had at the end of Grand Finals, MVP into this.
I'm
one.
good, bro. How are you?
Backline, just impenetrable. It felt from Crownfall. It was a baptism of fire, at least on this first map. But the problem, I think, is Moxie is like Virtus Pro are good at domination. They are excellent at any form of payload map.
Yeah, Virtus Pro did sort of stumble on domination a lot of the time last year, but I mean, they haven't just been doing nothing in the time between Atlanta and now. For sure, they've been working on like map hypotheticals and getting to go through all of the theory of how to play domination because they looked
Why
so
you meh,
good
Noah?
with it. Like, there were points where they could have held up
What's
maybe a
going
little
on,
bit
brother?
closer, but I think they really just wanted to force Crownfall to have to commit in. And then the moment that Crownfall was so far in, they weren't able to kite out, which allowed Virtus Pro to have that really steady presence of the Royal Flush final judgment on the front line, but at the same time also sent Nevix
Just a shit day.
careening into any
Ah,
like,
man, I'm sorry,
disengaged
bro.
path that Crownfall would want to make a play for the moment they saw the Punisher and Gambit ultimate light up.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what these guys could do. And Crownfall now, it's a real like test of like how you want to, where you want to go first and foremost on like the other like objective-based maps. But also, I think the keen thing is like, okay, people
Virtus
see
Pro
Virtus Pro just
absolutely
awesome.
laid the dog
Football
whipping on them.
Vanguard, it's the first time that we've seen it in action here. Saw it quite a lot, I think, from.
Yeah, it is what it is.
specifically
You'll
from
have
the
your
NRC.
shitty days, you know.
Maybe it feels that Virtus
Trust
are
me,
like,
I know.
Yeah, we're doing this. What are you gonna do?
At my old
A
job,
little bit in MRC, like you said, we also saw it in a.
at my old job, it was
the
bad.
What is now Pirates. So we have been seeing it a lot. It's crept up, especially.
I don't even know. I don't even know if I shared my old job with you.
Really solid damage output as well. I also do want to shout out at one point. Fi used the Eye of Agamotto when he was on Strange at the end of the first round in order to attempt to.
What I
block
used to do
off
before this.
The members of Cramfall reaching the point in case Jeff was able to reach and touch in time.
Oh yeah, Virtus Pro is winning
As
this
you
for
know,
sure.
well, what do? They swapped to Deadpool, a character who builds ult very quickly, and I just wanted to bring that up. I thought that was a really neat little swap that they did there.
I used to
Speaking of
make
neat little swap,
Windows,
let's
Noah.
swap to a break so that we can get set
I used to
up
make
for
Windows,
battle
brother.
number 2 in our best of 3 series. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Oh, these are the new fits for him. It was cool. I did it for 3 years. Yeah, I did it for 3 years. And then, you know, I'm taking a risk at this. You know, I want to do my passion. And good money. It was alright. There would be days where we would get. There would be days where we only worked like 2 hours though. That was during like this time. No, not this time. That was like during like November, December. You know, the cold month. That's one of the main reasons why I did that. Why I wanted to leave. Why am I going in for just an hour or two? Like, it would make no sense. But the money was alright. That's why I took the risk of leaving. And I wanted to pursue my passion. No regret. I mean, I wouldn't. I don't want to lie. You know, I don't want to lie. So I regret it a little bit, possibly. But, especially at that time, you know, my head was all over the place. My mind was all over the place at that time. It was last year. What was it? August? Last year of August. I think so. When I started this. And, you know, my head wasn't in the right place, you know. It's about to get a little sappy, I ain't gonna lie to you. 3 of my grandparents died in the same year. You know, my head wasn't in the right place. That's really cool, by the way. I like that. I'm a huge football fanatic. This is really cool. You know, and it changes you. As a person, it changes you. Especially when you have to carry, you know, I carried out all their, you know, caskets to like the hearse, the casket, you know, car or whatever. It changes you when you have to do that. I don't know, I feel like I really haven't been the same ever since that.
A very solid first showing from Crownfall, but it's Virtus Pro.
But you know, I try my best.
Mix it up as they're going to be taking us to Midtown for map number 2, and it looks like Crownfall will be starting on the defense of their choice.
And you know, here I am.
Finally, I guess that team's doing
Here I am.
Makes sense, but I think it's just it's sort of the problem, I suppose.
Oh, it was.
MRC, your like choice.
It was, Noah.
But
But hey, I'm here now. You know what I'm saying?
But also like Midtown, It's probably up there.
Watching
I
a
think,
tourney.
Like the most popular, certainly convoy
With
maps of what you can
pretty much
picking
you on all platforms. So
at this point. And you have
it is
just
what
no
it is.
choice in maps, full stop. No maps have been taken out of rotation. We've had Shin Shibuya thrown in for Convergence. So it does feel a little bit like Virtus Pro. Like, yeah, we play Midtown all of the time. We're happy to pick it.
Yeah, but it's
Okay.
also one of the maps which, like, out of the convoy maps, Dive is probably the weakest on this one. So it feels like Cramful, they saw what Virtus Pro were doing on the first round of Celestial Husk, and they've identified.
I wonder if
okay,
they'll
yeah, Virtus Pro
change up the
still
tactics.
playing Dive, very much still very, very good at Dive. Let's take them to a map where Dive falls off somewhat.
But now you've got to bear in mind, how do you do it? How do you hold Virtus Pro on this map? Because when we look at the
Like I said, bro,
traditional
it is what it is.
hold strategies, we look at Punishers, Moon Knights, etc. We just saw Virtus Pro run Punisher, and we know they're good at it because they had to play it through stage 1 of Ignite as well from last year. But we've also seen how the meta has shifted. You can still dive on this map, like you say, it's a little bit harder with these large open lines of sight. We heard Kaya talking about it earlier as well. There's a lot to think about when you're coming into this kind of matchup. I'm curious what Crownfall are cooking here. Let's start off with, we've talked about it all day today, Moxie. We're still seeing Vanguard Deadpool just do terrible, terrible things.
I'm surprised
Yeah,
no
I
one
think
has been
out of
Moon
all
Knight.
the compositions for Triple Vanguard, like,
Out of this whole
Vanguard
tourney,
Deadpool
no one
just-
has been
you
Moon
don't
Knight.
feel the absence of a duelist. We got to see a little bit more in the past seasons of tournament play. Teams move away from the full-on Triple Vanguard. It was much more common.
I think
to get to
there's
see
after this,
double
there's like
Vanguard, one-hit
another
carry
game.
duelist in the form of something like a Phoenix or a Namor. But Vanguard Deadpool, with the amount of utility that he does, with the speed that that ultimate pulls up as well, he's just so valuable, and I really don't see Virtus Pro parting with it unless Crownfall specifically target it and remove it in
Why
the
is it
matchup.
the dude on the
Right, we
far
talked
right?
about it earlier. That's a big
Some of
problem
his
in terms of
facial
the man
expressions,
buff,
it
but
like
Virtus Pro, this is
it looks
their
like he has to
better,
take a
as Moxie
shit.
said earlier.
I don't know why.
They still have the Psylocke, the Daredevil, all of these characters that can cause problems. What do you sacrifice on the side of Crownfall to let something through?
I think you maybe are looking at like the strategist line potentially. Like it seems that when there's a focus on like the Gambit being the non-mirrored thing that Virtus Pro building around.
It looks like he's
also
holding it
the
in
grab
for
of
real
the
though.
Gambit, maybe you just make sure that the Gambit can't be one-sided, so you have something more neutral to play off.
I've been trying to
Again,
stream
you don't
more
wanna
on
manipulate your
YouTube
own
side,
game
so
too much
YouTube
as
going
Crownfall,
on. Hello,
because
hello.
You know just how like resilient Virtus Pro is going to be in this.
We did
game.
have
And also
someone in
Virtus
there
Pro
recently.
Going to be keen to try out various types of stuff, so it wouldn't surprise me if this draft is very, very different in tone.
Oh,
and
shit.
what beat people.
Try out or hide strats. Those are the
That's probably the last one I'll
getting
watch though.
ready to head into map number
And then we
2.
could play
Crownfall
something.
choosing to defend first, choosing the map. They've set themselves
VP
up.
is about to
This is their
absolutely
best
destroy.
foot
These dudes
forward.
are really aggressive,
But
and they
set
play
the
as a
set
unit too.
after that best
I
foot
feel like if
has to come
CNF just
in
rocks a
the
Jean
drive.
Grey or even a
Let's see
Moon
what
Knight,
do, 'cause we're
they
gonna
could
be
do
heading on
something.
into map number 2 of Crownfall versus Virtus Pro.
Might be too much to bear for Crownfall. I get it because Virtus Pro over bear. Like, I'm getting all of the like hibernation.
I
Jones
get
it.
for leg day.
Root's also
I
good.
thought it
I just
was
want to
good.
get there first.
Okay, Crownfall instantly gonna be changing things up potentially. There it is. It's a mirrored Gambit ban. So yeah, I imagine like Virtus Pro continue to be okay letting the Elsa through. Crownfall not wanting to let one-sided Gambit through,
VPs.
target out the Gambit.
Nothing but
Instead, it does
animated
come
pictures.
At the trade-off though of allowing Virtus Pro access to the Elsa.
Nothing but
So
animated
very much
pictures.
looking forward to getting to see how I would imagine Sparker is going to be playing that one. As Crownfall, what do we go for now?
Alright, no, I'll see you later,
Vanguard
broski.
So they've identified Phi. Like, this makes a lot of sense. If Sparker is going to be playing the Elsa, it does not make sense to go for something that Sparker would, you know, not be playing because he's going to be on the better pick of the Elsa. Go for Phi's hero pool instead.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, I mean it also
Appreciate you
sort of
stopping
not-
by.
Not only just your Vanguard if you're running Choo Choo 2, but Choo 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 222, I guess that kind of works. But also if you're running like triple Vanguard, I do feel like having the Deadpool in it is just going to make it work. Similar to Elsa, like she fits into all sorts of different combinations no matter what her duelist duo is, that you're going to be fine. Deadpool sort of feels the same in that Vanguard role, and both teams taking out the Daredevil too know that there's going to be a lot of
Oh,
impact around.
yeah, no
Yeah,
doubt.
Midtown, well, as we said, it might be one of the worst convoy maps for Dive to make impact. Daredevil still does not
That's
need
what
to
makes it
actually
interesting,
be
bro.
making successful impact with dives. He has access to all of the information. He can flank behind your team. He can split the attention, and you can make headway in the front line instead. Mantis save actually coming from the side of Crownfall. This might usher Virtus Pro into potentially going for a target onto a triple strat line. Although since Loki is still in the draft, I feel like it's more going to be targeted towards the God of Mischief, so that we don't get to see any mischievous team ups with the Mantis. So that regeneration domain is both larger, but also has stackable damage boost and would allow Crownfall such an advantage against Virtus Pro when we weigh the Elsa versus Elsa.
I do like the Invisible Woman Protect as well. It's going to be one-sided, and you also get the chance to take out the Loki, so you make sure that it's not going to be copied on the other side. Whether there's a case here that you ban out the Loki to make sure that they can't get Invisible Woman and Loki as a strategist backline, or whether they want to sort of still commit to this like Mantis one-sided, most likely triple strategist setup that Crownfall are wanting to work with. So there is a Loki available on the side for Virtus Pro to play around if they want to.
Yeah, but what is the triple strategist line? As yes, you have the Mantis, but you've been denied both the Loki and the Invisible Woman. Do we actually get to see the Luna Snow come into the mix? As she has had quite a significant buff with anyone who has Idol Aura. If they participate within those eliminations, then we get to see the Ice Odds cooldown getting shaved off. And that's one of Luna's best resources at being able to both deal damage, build the ultimate, as well as keep her team active when she's fighting in main. And there's all of those groups of players, one in front of the other. As, oh, okay, Crownfall on the defense, so we know that this composition's going to stick. For the first time today, we get the Adam Warlock. Now, is that going to mean that Virtus Pro are going to scout this out and instantly swap over to the Moon Knight?
Yeah, I mean, it seems that that would be the natural approach. Even though there's been a lot of changes, it still feels like this comp, if Crownfall can have a good first couple of fights, is going to be able to handedly hold its own ground. You get to see a little bit more of like the Mantis.
See what goes on.
Works, just keep that triple strategist line up and ready.
You can still dive on
Virtus
this map,
Pro
though.
not having
That's
access
the
to
thing.
Deadpool Vanguard means that Boohoo can really show off, and he had some good showings for Crownfall.
They're rocking triple
in the
support.
qualifying.
Oh, no.
I mean, we just have to see, can Crownfall manage to stave off Virtus Pro's attack long enough to build the first Karmic Revival? You don't have Loki, so you're not going to be able to utilize the AoE damage and healing to greater build up the Karmic Revival ahead of your
That
own
is
Adam.
smart
You
as
see
hell
that
from the
rock in
group.
BRB, so if one of your players, especially the Adam, falls early, it will be the Cocoon that is used instead. And speaking about that Adam, he's already coming under a lot of pressure. Sparker taking the high ground and clearing FHDC off of it.
Manages to survive though, so Life Cocoon is still available if he does get poked down enough, but no eliminations actually come through. It is progression made though for Virtus Pro as they're starting to just eke away at the resources that Crownfall have available to them. Whilst everybody's surviving, they don't have much. Boohoo has to use the Banhammer, built it up fast enough, and why not? You've still got the chance to be ahead of what Virtus Pro are doing, but outside of that, there's not too much. Immediately, there's the copy over towards the Eternal Bond to get this Poker Dagger ultimate, and Virtus Pro forward and ready. Yeah, Apex has been used. It's sort of gone for Virtus Pro, but it seems that most people managed to survive it and hold out on it, and still no eliminations found up until Ionogi. And look, the payload is still moving for free.
I mean, FHDC is getting real close to that first Karmic Revival. If he manages to pull it off, they will be able to stabilize with Eternal Bond, but do we get to see it come through? FHDC's back on the field, but Virtus Pro are just flooding, stuffing the choke. They've scouted out the Adam's position too, and Sparker is not going to allow the Adam Warlock through. That's first.
Also has good aim.
Crownfall having to disengage. They do not want to burn the Karmic Revival cost.
Destroy the walls, dude.
To build the ultimate on getting players back before they get staggered out of second.
I mean, we saw this in like previous series and stuff can stop here, but it really is that Virtus Pro have used the likes of the Apex Predator for themselves. For Sparker, you've got like...
Why are they keeping up Brandy Orton?
Saipe with his Poker Dagger. There's a big fight happening here as it's going to be used on the other side with a Strangling Prison, but it's FHD that goes down. Life Cocoon means that he can come back into this one, but that's two ultimates dedicated for Crownfall, and they found absolutely nothing. You might have a Soul Resurgence about to be used from Dabby, but it's that final judgment actually from Fire, looking to try and find the picks. FHD hiding to see if anybody else goes down that he can bring back. It's MJD. Abuhu's
Oh, you
gonna
have
go
Soul
down
Bond
at
in
the point,
that.
it looks like, so he's going to be revived. But it's only a couple of players able to stall for a second. The Virtus Pro are going in with their own ults.
I mean,
Good
Cypher
ult.
is able to
Good
let
ult.
the team live with the regeneration domain, sets up the God of Mischief copy for that Eternal Bond. Nevik stalls out the res position too from stabilizing with Feast of the Abyss. And Virtus Pro, they still have ultimates. Crownful were the ones who had access to the Karmic Revival, but Virtus Pro are the ones who are actually outlasting this fight. And the longer it goes, the greater position they'll be able to find themselves. At this point for Crownful, it's just a matter
Damn.
of burning resources. So when you get your last fight on second and you have the closer respawns, you can potentially overcome the fight. But Spark has got that Apex Predator, and Ryan, I am worried. Crownful are going to be funneled into a choke against this Ulcer ultimate that they have no answer for.
Strangling Prison might be able to stall something out. Sparker does have the Apex Predator. He's going to use it, but just as Finzi goes down, able to grab onto a lot of
that
players.
Warlock
The Vanguard
DPSing?
from Abuhu's going to be used. One-step Vanguard is
There's
going
the
to
Moon
be on
Knight.
the side. Finzi might potentially be coming back actually with the Doctor Strange to portal in to see if they can continue this fight, especially now that Fi's moved over to the Moon Knight to keep tempo in their reigns. This is just a battle of entropy, it feels like, Moxie. Crownfall are holding their own in some of these engagements and fights, but just Virtus Pro have enough stamina to outlast them.
That was a
Yeah, and
waste of a
Crownful
portal.
going for a close hold on third. Everyone just goes for the teleport swap to exchange spawns now on their third defense, which means that Sparkers are already in position to claim up this high
That
ground
was
and
such
potentially
a terrible
find an
portal.
elimination before the fight even starts. FHDC at least will have a second Karmic Revival cast up, but Fi with the Hand of Khonshu, you feel like that has to go right on top of the Rez's position, and Crownfall, they're just going to be stuck on top of it.
Sparker is not afraid to go a little bit more daring in his main chokes, and that's mostly, I think, from the space that was given by the Hand of Khonshu, means that he could dive a little bit deeper if he wants to go into that fight to Rosa.
Why does she keep
Rosa now fighting on the objective,
What the
a
hell?
little bit more help from the Eternal Bond. You use it to try and envelop the objective, but it is going to be used on the other side from Dreedra at the same time. So it really is just stalling it out. The longer that these fights go, the more it seems to be forcing out of Crownfall. Virtus Pro are just keeping it trucking along. Everything that is used can be used for Crownfall. They have 3 ultimates, and they're not really sure if they want to use it or not.
Oh,
Finzi
man.
eats himself into the fight and the engagement, but Cypher seems to be building up so many of these ultimates. It's just
Good.
Eternal Bond
Good.
for eternity. Soul Resurgence has to be used. Crownfall and it's now starting to fight back, but I haven't seen anybody outside of Finzi hit the elimination feed, Moxie.
Yeah, Soul Resurgence is there for Crownfall. They'll have a Strangling Prison as well as the Karmic Revival. Like, this
Elsa
is
is just
them
annoying in
answering back
general.
against Virtus Pro, but what an ultimate
Big
battle
ult.
cost it was. Big use of the Strangling Prison to be able to clean up those eliminations, as well as utilizing those Groot Walls to stop Nevix from potentially getting out. The shield from the Venom is able to come through in time, though, and that does mean that Nevix only falls now, a much later stagger. Virtus Pro are going to swap Finzi off of the Strange onto the Groot so they can have the walls to keep pace with Rosa, and Crownfall now get the opportunity to close hold just outside of Fisk Building, which is going to allow FHTC a lot more safety of space to play the Adam unjacked.
So a really forward hold here. 2 minutes for Crownfall to stop this objective from moving anywhere else. So I still dedicating to this Moon Knight, so it really is just if he can find a good opportunity to use it. Finzi's still like back over onto the Groot after playing from some Doctor Strange beforehand, using the ultimate. Saipe is building his ultimates up so quickly. It's
Look at
like
Sparker,
unnerved
though.
for him. He's got something else to work with, yeah, Apex Predator. And so I think Rose needs to be a little bit careful with all of these walls that he doesn't get picked up and isolated in his own making of a labyrinth, and Sparker finds the pick perfect.
Yeah, that Terror Cape, FHDC forced into using the
nice.
Karmic Revival. Everyone kites out of it. But Virtus Pro, they're just going to chase. The Reses are going to have ended. They've still got Eternal Bond on the field to just allow Fi
Wow,
to go absolutely ham with the Moon Knight damage. Iana Koji comes on for the
Telling you,
Eternal
the
Bond,
Moon
so
Knight
careful
is gonna
to
come
answer
in
that.
clutch.
Great Strangling Prison combined with Apex Predator, and Virtus Pro are sent packing yet again.
It's everything on hold for Crownfall. A good fight in the end, all things considered. Like Abuhu getting a lot of success out of the Banhammer, forcing everybody back.
But look
it's
at the
fact
ult
that,
costs.
Yeah, Virtus Pro have near enough everything that they want available to them. And even if they don't have ultimates, they are building them up at such a pace, it doesn't look like there's been any change.
Yeah, I mean, Darby will have Soul Resurgence, but at this point, you can't just full send it into Fisk building aggressively with the Manta Soul, because if you do, you're getting Groot Ward, you're getting Strangling Prison and Apex Predator. Speaking about Strangling Prison, there it is, combined of Hand of Khonshu, but Crime Force players were actually outside of it for the most part, and they get to punish how far up both the Groot and the Moon Knight had to be to try to make a play with that combination. So one ultimate combo taken away from Virtus Pro with the cost and trade-off of Solar Resurgence, which is allowing Crownfall to actually barter back up next Karmic Revival, but also Apex Predator from MJD.
I don't think there's a portal available either because of Virtus Pro used it fairly recently, so they're actually going to struggle to touch this objective. They had 10 seconds, and Crownfall are holding him all the way back.
Loki, use your ult, bro.
Your luggage here. Saipe's gone for the copy for the Eternal Blood to create some of that space, and Nevix has been forced to use the Feast of the Abyss to survive a little bit longer. Sparker looking for a good angle for the Apex Predator. Don't think he catches onto anything at all, but he is able to get Rosa just as he's trying to make his disengage, and the escape is gone. There's the Banhammer for Abuhu to see if he can stall this fight a little bit more. Sparker is just on the hunt into the backline. Abuhu trying to fight on this objective, stalling a little bit longer, and he's finding a lot of success.
And dude takes a picture. All right.
Photo finish over it to see if he can find those eliminations, and now you've got like a Strangler Prison about to come back for Rosa. This hold might not be going any further as Finzi is switched over towards Magneto. Can only mitigate so much damage in the end. The Strangler Prison pulls every last player of VP into one point of the objective. Is it enough to clear everybody off the point?
They do have no healer. Oh wait, Warlock with a res. Oh.
See if they can catch anybody else off and destroy any like objectives that are there in this point. FHC
hold on. Virtus may actually make this push.
But it means that everybody's forcing the fight off of this point. Virtus Pro found so much space. They found the picks and there's not much left in overtime, but they're actually managed to get things going again.
Yeah, I mean, Navix will have Feast of the Abyss. Sparkers
at Udis Linadarse 1778 said I am back.
Welcome back.
Try get some heals uncontested with Virtus Pro not being able to spare hands off of the point. Yanakoji's going to swap onto the rocket to have the BRB to beat the respawns. FHDC also respawning and self-resing up on a high ground off angle to continue.
Why would you? Why? What is that Warlock doing?
The Apex Predator, because Virtus Pro, they're right outside the checkpoint. Apex Predator is there, ready to go once Feast of the Abyss finds the connection, and the
that's huge. That was huge.
Drops Crownfall's players off of the presence on point, and despite it all, it looked so good with Crownfall being able to keep the stall with Abuhu on the Vanguard Deadpool alive.
That was actually huge.
Long. Virtus Pro starts snowballing away, punishing the fact that Crownfall used ultimates but didn't finish off the fight.
You didn't finish him.
Picked apart the composition when they ran out of resources and had to kite back towards spawn.
Virtus Pro didn't hear a bell. They kept fighting at the end. It looked done, and at the very least, like just finishing before that final.
Dude, that Elsa was on point almost every single time. Really, both of the Elsas.
Work with the numbers that were against them. Abuhu had a really good like hold and fight on the objective. But it's just how much the Virtus Pro could look for these.
All right, Crownfall. Gotta do it.
With the Elsa. Goes to show that
what a crazy match, by the way.
Much like the top
just when you thought all was lost.
Players on those roles, and they find so much when it comes to win conditions.
Yeah, Tridoro as well, just being able to dodge the team out of that damage coming on through from MJD.
Don't worry.
Which MJD was waiting. We got to see a little bit of the Elsa silhouette.
UD. We'll be playing here in a second.
And have to go on to the point because it's overtime. Your hand is forced in terms
after
of positioning.
Match.
But the CD is just able to come through with the healing, and the Glatrox gets absolutely obliterated within the first opening seconds. It's sent out by. There's a Virtus Pro now swap onto that defense, and we get to see full free stall potential.
Another Groot.
With the low-key
Groot is just him.
Woman and the rocket. So if Crownfall start finding early eliminations with that Mantis damage boost Moon Knight, they're going to have those bodies brought back.
Weird angle.
If I'm living in these apartments above the street, I'm moving out because it just seems to be constant fighting and like the slobber knockers with this triple strategist setup. But it is without the Adam that they still want to try and fight for it. They don't want to sort of rely that on their main composition, feeling that it's going to be a little bit more exploited. So they're just going for the sustain and the fight in the end.
Loki's so good,
it is
bro.
actually unreal how quickly he's building stuff up on the Loki. Regeneration domain's going to be forced out, but it's not a case of we've used it, we need to back out. And
they should do Mantis too, so that way he has a damage boost for.
They're trying to use it a little bit more offensively. They've got stuff pretty farmed up well.
Oh no, Mantis is banned.
And Abuhu coming in with a Banhammer is enough threat for Virtus Pro to respect it, give up the space on the corner.
Yeah, good targeting as well onto Drigger.
Mantis
Like
is
the
banned
ultimate, he
for
can
that.
just get a copy and drop it.
Those
Speaking about
Gambit.
Invis Woman, we're seeing Invisible Boundary drops, but
Moon Knight is
unfortunately,
just
Hannah
clutch.
Conchi dropped right on top of it. FHDC cleans up too. And Virtus
Moon Knight
will
is just so
lose
clutch.
One actual player, BRB will bring the other back. Finzy's going to try and bring their chances back with a recontest. Strange TP, as they do have a lot of good ults to be able to stabilize it. But I mean, MJD should just be playing an angle with this Apex Predator, waiting for a moment to strike.
Yeah, hello, goodbye is pretty much how we expect this fight to be going, but it has been stalled and contested. Darby seeing if he can get onto the sight line and be avoided. He's trying to build up as quickly as he can. That Soul Resurgence, this Invisible Boundary is going to be used on the other side.
Good.
And is the Strangling Prison. Sorry, it was the copy for Saipe. He's actually able to get this fight and keep it consistent. And MJD, really good read to just hold onto that ultimate to bait
Oh,
out as many
Wolverine should
ultimates as
melt
possible
Root.
to see if he can catch anything in the meanwhile.
If he
But
gets heals.
unfortunately, it doesn't look like anybody was pulled out of position. Virtus Pro have everybody else.
What are
on
you
the
doing,
objective,
Wolverine?
And they've managed to stall this
What was
fight.
he doing?
I mean, FHTC is about to hit another hand of Conchi. This time Rosa can help coordinate with the Strangling Prison bolt up. So Kremful can take first turn. They just have to be so cautious of Finzy. With the Eye of Agamotto coming on for Ayana Koji, swaps to Cloak, manages to use the Dark Teleportation to frame the team for it, but they've lost Abuhu. They're still going for the fight win. Rosa sends out Strangling
No
Prison.
way they
There's the
hold him
combo
first
with the
point,
Midnight,
right?
And there go Virtus Pro's team.
Yeah,
This
no.
is Kremful finally picking up the first checkpoint, but it cost them a lot of ultimates.
Yeah,
that they
Moon
don't
Knight's
have
just
access
going
to
off
sneak
right now.
into second.
Moon Knight is carrying them hard.
Now, Virtus Pro only able to hold on, but they bought a good amount of time considering how fast their first point take was. But you're going to take it with just less than 4 minutes for Crownfall to try and make it through second. But Crownfall having to use a lot. Ultimates not really looking to be built anytime soon. Know that this next fight is an important one to get right. MJD is going to have a lot of pressure on him, as is Ayana Koji.
Oh, now they
Just
have
get
two healers.
Good use of this Eternal Bond to create that space in where the check.
No one's even
really
pushing
tight,
the
but
bot.
Struggle for the attackers to get past.
Oh, Finzy's on the Captain America too. Nevix with the Venom. They're just going to look to split the team. Like, Kremful have to give up all of that forward pressure on Subway Tunnel because of the threat of Virtus Pro's Vanguards going and capping. The
See, if you
combo
play
and
Mantis, you
stalling
have
out
to
the
be so
push, and it's
strategic with
allowing
her as
Spark
well.
so much opportunity to move forward. Trigger gets to go for such an aggressive invisible boundary as well, catching onto Kremful's choke, not allowing them to cleanly disengage both the threat
Good
of
ult.
the Elsa as well as that dive, and Sparker's just getting
Good
work
stop.
done.
If you want a brief glimpse as to how Virtus Pro won Grand Finals, I think it's just moments like that. Like the stall for Finzy and Nevix to just get past this, like, aggressive play that Crownfall is trying to do, force the fight back, and then it just opens up the map for Sparker to set up how he wants to take this engagement. So
Look at the
Crownfall,
B.O.B. placement. How do you break that before you cross a choke?
how do you even know it's there? You've just got to, like, be keenly aware of it. All of the other teams that are watching have just written that down.
I didn't know what he was shooting.
Circle it, put it on a YouTube thumbnail because we need to make sure that Virtus Pro aren't allowed to do this.
Oh, Sparker as well, getting just like full instinct levels to have all of the mobility of rotating Crownfall when they try to
Also
come
just have
towards this point.
so much
Yakoji
mobility.
does have that Eternal Bond, should be able to survive some of the aggressive plays coming through from Virtus Pro, but wait! Eternal Bond is used from Crownfall's side. Virtus Pro didn't do anything to force out of it. They're just gonna be able to wait for it to disapitate and then come through with the ultimate
Huge.
combos when Crownfall have no answer. Cosmic Yacht Amplifier waves goodbye to the entirety
Huge.
of Crownfall's team with the help of
Huge
Beast
from Virtus
and
Pro.
Galactic Legend.
That
Virtus
ult
Pro
saved
yet
him right
again
there.
claim full stake of every bit of space on second.
It's how lightning fast it was as well. Just okay, we forced out Eternal Bond just from this consistent pressure that we're making with this dive.
And
3, 2,
Elsa
1,
has
3
ult.
ultimates used in quick tandem, and it's
Elsa
just
and
a
Cap have
rifle
ult.
for Crownfall.
Other
They
team
have
Groot
the
has
Strangler
ult.
Prison themselves, but you don't really have as much to coordinate with it other than maybe the Boo.
How did-
Apex Predator is going to come through, but there's enough Groot walls to just start to break things apart from Sparker. But a good read from Virtus Pro to know exactly where this attack is coming from.
No way, Spark is flanking.
The flank,
around the back,
the
and he's got
flank.
ability. Finz is
But
gonna
the
be
soul
able to
bond,
lead
the
him
soul
as well.
bond.
Coming through with the Freedom Charge to just give Virtus Pro all of the freedom. That being said, Crownfall have actually moved away from where the fight was happening on Choke into the open space of point. They saw that Virtus Pro had split that team, and they just went for the walk with greater player advantage, overwhelming the rest of Virtus Pro's composition.
Oh,
and
Groot's alone.
finally
I mean, Groot.
controlling some
Rocket's
momentum in
alone.
time.
Deadpool's about to have his way.
An overstep, mayhaps, for Virtus Pro. I mean, certainly Sparker was not afraid to go aggressive, and Finzi just went through them. The Crownfall were like, okay, we're just going to cut past, hit the back.
Did that dude get off a Moon Knight on the blue team? That's the only reason why they were pushing.
You have to finish up this map, and you got 30 seconds to try and hit the second check.
He went Warlock? Oh, hell no.
Where this fight is happening.
It's
The Crownfall
GG.
also having the Banhammer, going to use that first as well as the Apex Predator. At least connects over onto the Venom of Nevix, but he might have enough to get out. No, not at all. Not even a chance for MJD to let him recompose himself. Invisible Boundary is going to be used just in front of the objective, and now it's a case of Fimsy to show just what he was doing over.
What up, Effect?
Last year to stall things out. He's decided not really.
This
to
is
take
this is
chance.
attorney.
There is some members stalling, able to at least fight this as it's hit overtime, but it's Virtus Pro.
This
now
is
trying
attorney,
to
my
find the
boy.
Waterfall away. Finzi goes down first. You have got Nevix. It's going to be on the other side of it. Bearback needs that Finzi's going to be back in a split second. And there's Sparker going on the offensive. It looked like Crownfall might be able to put their foot down and actually take the second checkpoint. But there's no
Huge ult, huge ult, huge ult.
doesn't quite hit onto the targets in the hallway. The Apex Predator is just Sparker taking the shots. It's going to take the camera revival.
Good ult from the cloak.
Eternal Bond is going to try to carpet its way onto the point to give some safety for Crownfall to hit second. It's just a meter for them to push, but Finzi has been stalling
Nice.
over and over again. He can very much do this all day, but there's certainly a limit. They're able to hit onto second, but it took literally everything.
Finally, Crownfall
Neither
see
do I,
themselves
Effect.
into third. I mean, like you said, it took everything. They are at least close enough to a few ultimates to try and snowball some of this momentum.
Alright,
Though
now they have to
be
reach the
very
third point.
cautious about Virtus Pro. Dredro swaps onto
I'm
the
surprised
Jackal.
Crownfall
It's
made
easy
it
to
this
get back
long.
into those points, but also
They
some of the
needed those
shenanigans
3 heals.
for Nevix to have more
They're rocking
sustainability
triple
in the amount
support.
of damage that Crownfall can output, and Fi can just open up the space all the way back for this team with the Galactic Legend. Or is it
Huge.
a little bit too late on the body block interception with the Angela shield? And they've
Damn.
lost FHDC and they've lost.
Rip. He wasted that ult.
Apex Predator as well as Soul Resurgence comes through from the side of Derby, so that Crownfall don't lose more players, and we get the investment of the Heavens Retribution trying to catch Virtus Pro before they can disengage.
I'll
around
be
the
on
cover
your
of
team.
corner.
I appreciate that, Effect.
Crownfall diving in deep off the back of the Banhammer and the Heaven's Retribution. MJD is not afraid to try to make his aura and presence known, but they are running low on ultimates. That's not going to be the defining factor here, as Virtus Pro are keenly aware of what's left on the
Come on,
table.
Crownfall.
They haven't its Jeff,
You can get there.
Dredro, as well as a Freedom Charge now for Finzi that's
Just
been built
farm
up.
ult.
They're just
Just farm
taking
for
their
ult.
time here. 15 seconds left, and the Freedom Charge is going to be the thing that starts.
Ah,
to
damn, they got
allow
off-
for Virtus Pro to come in and go for these fights. FHD taken out. No life cocoon. He's going to have to make it back on foot, but he's nowhere near having a Camet revival. He might consider.
Virtus
switching
is
over
just
to
so
Phoenix,
good.
and it is
They
very
all
strange
pushed together.
for the portal.
Once he got off of Moon Knight, it was
Time
pretty
is
much
overtime
up and
is being
stuck.
hit, But the players that were able to touch the objective are dropping like flies. FHD just getting there in time. Is there going to be a body
Let me know
block?
when you want to
Able
practice.
touch,
Shoot,
but
after this
not
game,
for
Effect?
long, as Virtus Pro have managed to hold on second, able to win this series 2-0. But I gotta say, Moxie, Crownfall made it interesting.
Yeah, I
I'm about
think
to
there
get
was
online
a
when
lot
I
of
get home.
focus going into
Alright,
this
sounds
series. I
good,
think
bro.
everyone sort of felt that Virtus Pro
Dude,
would
when
win.
that-
It was
I don't know who
just
it
a
was, but
matter
whoever was
of
Moon Knight
whether
on
Crownfall would be able to keep
the
up
other
in certain
team, bro,
pockets. Like
but he
you said,
was
really gonna be looking very
destroying
closely
Virtus.
at the power levels of Crownfall, Reason, and Vision. So to see
Another,
Crownfall
another
pulling
2-0
fights against Virtus
game.
Pro, to see them as well being able to hold their
Damn,
own
bro.
against some of those really long stall potentials. Like, yeah, there were definitely issues where they just weren't able to finish off eliminations. Virtus Pro having all of the stall that they did when they swapped over to defense was very problematic, especially given the fact that like they're on the Captain America and the Venom. If they're
Dude, that
diving,
was-
you should be able to find more value elsewhere on that
Bro.
map, which we did get to see the adaptation. Like when they decided, okay, they're diving us, we're just going to go to objective and brute force the backline when we have 6 players and they only have 2 guarding that spot. That's when they started really picking up the momentum.
These are great lessons, though. Like, this is, like, you know, a VOD review. Okay, we made these errors. We got this game out the way.
That is
It went
crazy.
better than expected, I would say, from them. They're going to be, I think, to an extent, Crownfall are going to be feeling positive about
Stop
it.
moaning in the mic!
Set up really nicely.
She keeps
But
going,
also fits this team perfectly, considering that he's a new addition after a very quick, like, roster swap around from the qualified teams. It is just a case of how did Virtus Pro punish us? How do we cover those gaps? How do we make sure that in those bigger matches,
Like,
as you
damn.
mentioned, we are not making these mistakes and we can actually come out on top. There's a lot of positive stuff here for Virtus Pro. It's just another day in the
Like,
office.
damn, bro.
Another day in the office indeed, as we're getting prepared to see if we have an interview. What solid matchup. Crownfall, you guys mentioned it perfectly. I want to reiterate, that was good. Fitting in very well with the new players and putting on a very exciting performance. But we come back to that original question we asked. Virtus.pro
Still good, bro.
using what I'm pretty sure we can conservatively call kind of last patch's strategies here, Moxie.
Well, not really, because Sparker got to play the Elsa on Midtown,
That's
walking away with, by the way.
All right, chat. We're gonna let them yap. We're gonna let them yap. We're gonna let them yap. The gameplay is turning on her. Where is... Okay, that's that. Boom. Okay, cool. All right. We're going to do a ranked game of my own. So, placements have been utter shit. Literally utter. Like, I'm literally sipping from an utter right now. Utter shit. You got this, bro? I'll try, bro. Oh man, dude. Like it's been bad.
Which hero do you think you want to be today?
I am Loki, god of mischief and the king of Asgard.
They really do it, fact.
Now, who am I gonna banish from this match?
We're gonna do Gambit, then we're gonna do Groot. I swear, bro. I swear. Come on. Pick me. You won't know, balls. Ooh, we don't have to do Groot. Okay. Okay, we don't have to do Groot. They got Groot for me. Next I would say Moon Knight, because Moon Knight is pretty powerful. You know, I mean, Penny ain't a bad ban, but sure, we'll rock with it. We'll rock. Our dude wants to go Daredevil. Leave Daredevil open. That had to be target. I'd ban Moon Knight, because Moon Knight can feed, bro. Moon Knight can feed. No, I like 3 bans effect. I like it. Okay. Penny, Moon,
Pick
and
your
Groot.
hero or villain. I'm not judging.
I'd replace Penny with Gambit. Gambit is so fucking annoying. He can just turn around a game like that, bro. He can turn around a game like that. Bam, bam, bam. All right. Time to lock in.
30 seconds before you attack. Get
Time to
ready.
lock in, chat.
Trickster, where will you make your mischief when the world disintegrates?
Oh, this is hardly the only world.
It is my only world, and I will fight for it.
I'm the only. No, Strange is the word.
The battle starts in 5.
Storm and a
4,
BP.
3,
That BP better
2,
be good, bro.
1. All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
That BP better be good.
I too am a
At least we don't have a white. I feel it, Gambit. Be aggravating. Oh, I know, bro.
Let my enemies tremble.
I was fine. Okay.
Your god is suffering.
I am strength.
I outnumber you.
Looks like the mission area is yours to capture now.
It's good.
The mission area is yours.
You should all be very proud.
Come on.
Healing for my friends. I have many faces.
I suppose that helped. They got behind you.
I will unleash mighty havoc.
A timely boost.
They are in front of us. Idiots. Invigorating, no.
Here we go.
I'll get you next time. You've captured more than half of the mission area. Keep going.
I suppose that helped.
You thought you could get me. Alright, in fact, yes, watch the road, bro.
Greetings. What did I miss? I have many faces.
The area's almost yours.
I will unleash mighty havoc.
So uninvited guests.
Good medicine.
Us against the world.
Your powers are mine!
Us against the world. Can we just get stronger? I feel so.
You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner.
Oh, she actually almost got me. Not good.
Oh, sweet moves, right?
Not good, not good, not good.
Control lost.
What did I miss?
Why? No, 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 no. Alright, we need a cloak out right here.
They got behind you.
I outnumber you.
Any healing
Some
is good
uninvited
healing.
guests.
You are restored.
I was fine. Thank you.
Co-op time.
Strengthened for battle.
Enemies help.
You have my full support.
Why are you going all the way in, dude?
Happy to help.
Control C. I'll get you next time. You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner.
Hurricane.
Incoming!
Ah. They push too far up and then they come back when they boarded.
Control lost.
I always come back.
Their team's capture progress has passed the halfway point.
Chill, bro.
The more the merrier. Your dog is suffering. I see that.
Us against the world!
Eyes on your back.
Oh my god. Bro, you push up for no reason. They have a cloak call. Peel. What are we doing?
Good medicine.
The more
Our enemies are here.
invigorating, no.
I unleash the Vishanti.
Keep fighting until we have a winner.
Your powers are mine! Wield the wrath of the goddess!
I will always lend a hand. I see a town needs rest.
Beholds the god of thunder!
Bro, what are we doing, man? And then we go triple heals. It's not gonna work. Why do people go triple heals? It's not gonna work.
Don't lie to me. I invented. I am Loki, god of mischief and the king of Asgard.
I am. It's nice to take a break.
30
from
seconds
cosmic
before you
judgments
attack.
every now and then.
Get ready.
White fog, like that's gonna do anything.
I forgot how beautiful. I am the Phoenix. Behold my cosmic might. You've been through.
There are days where I can barely begin to fathom it myself.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
Queen, mother, perfection. I answer to all three. I am
Our
stronger
enemies
than
are
ever.
near.
Looks like the mission area is yours to capture now. They captured the mission area! Psychic shift! Chaos control!
My power grows.
Why are you pushing up? Oh, come on. I can't get healed, bro. Whatever, I'll just back. Care, bro.
Us against the world.
Capture progress has passed the halfway point.
God of thunder!
I have many faces.
Don't drown in the
Invigorating, no.
I appreciate you. I'm hurt. I was worried.
Dude. Where is everyone, bro?
The more the merrier.
Strong together. They've almost got it.
Why on me, bro?
Appreciate the boost.
You belong to me!
I outnumber you.
Why do I get such shit teammates, bro? Oh my god.
Well, you can't expect to win them all.
Every single time, too. I think the next match is starting pretty soon. Next match is starting pretty soon. Terrible. Just can't win. Bada, bada, bada.
Pick your hero. Or villain. I'm not judging.
I'm not anyone's sidekick. What I do is
Lord
best done
Whitebot.
alone.
Love to see it, bro. Bada, bada.
Weapons keep getting better, but it's still the person behind them that matters most.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
No time for idle chatter. If you've got something to say, spit it out.
It's just... Logan used to tell me bedtime stories about Kumiko when I was a child, and...
The legends are not particularly kind to us. Don't believe everything they say.
The battle starts in 5, 4,
Yo, I am getting
1. All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
Promise Rogue the perfect honeymoon. And this sure ain't it.
That's what I needed.
Looks like the mission area is yours to capture now. The mission area is yours.
Team strike and central power.
Always glad to help, partner. That's what I needed.
Your discipline shows, Bucky.
You captured more than half of the mission area. Keep going.
Damage sustained. Need assistance.
damn.
I am strengthened. Gambit got your back.
My mission isn't over yet.
The area's almost yours.
Rainbow stands with you! Chonguet Shigon!
Dude, they're all up in that.
Weakling!
Shields are more Steve's thing. Strange makes some kind of
You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner.
Behold the God of Thunder!
Good stuff. Really good stuff. I sell pint. Someone's name.
I've done unspeakable things. I hope it's not too late to set them right.
Seconds before you attack. Get ready.
I've had my eye on you for some time, Mr. LeBeau.
Tell me more, Cher. And please, call me Remy.
Tiger Division has been planning a massive sting operation on the Thieves Guild. And you're our key person of interest.
Oh, second off, call me Luke.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
Shields are more Steve's thing.
Master Weaver is not going to be thrilled with me for jumping around realities.
They have been seen and they will not escape.
I didn't even have to use my ult.
Kill them.
Looks like the mission area is capture now. The mission area is yours. Double KO.
Got one.
Did it, Spider.
The hunt is on.
That's what I need.
Sheesh. I'll be honest, I didn't know what the hell I was doing right there.
Fantastic!
I just wanted to rush him.
Doesn't last.
I wanted to use my ult in there, but it is what it is. No, I want to be in that.
Alert! You captured more than half of the mission area. Keep going.
Armed and dangerous! Again!
And stay
Chonguet Shigon!
No.
I was born ready.
No.
Area is almost yours.
Losing is not an option.
Control lost.
Oh my.
I'm hit! Cover me!
Double KO.
Thanks, Petty.
Always come back.
Spider mode.
About time I got a shield.
Control seized. I'm counting on you, friends.
Survive this!
Another epic
Oh dang, it did start.
big win.
Hold on. There it is. Okay.
More of a brawl from both sides, but it's looking like Team Peps might have the opening. If it wasn't for Naga coming in with the Galactic Legend. Fortunately for him, Six shoots him straight out the sky and are able to take the point.
Yeah, Frankie on that Strange as well, having a little bit more of a consistent shield to be able to act as cover for Peps. They're able to find the flip, and Protoss can hold on to it, Jeff, as well. IMLK has the Banhammer, I'm sure, is going to be the option for that Vanguard Deadpool ultimate to put the pressure onto Team Heretics when they try to walk through, as Enzo is going to be looking to build up one of their own before they decide to full send it. Pink's been isolated actually at one of these angles, Six playing a little bit closer to the core of the backline, making sure to be able to peel for Baby Bat when she gets pressured, and this Phoenix is doing a lot in terms of damage. Shuts down Beetle. Heretics not going to be able to make a play forward, especially given the fact that IMLK slammed the Banhammer onto the strategist line so that Heretics just fell apart under pressure from the duelists.
Yeah, the paper mache started to brutally fall apart. Enzo going for the Banhammer here as a play. There's not really much
you have to
at all. Yeah.
If you go down, you lose your ultimate as Deadpool.
You just have to feeling like it was just a case of next up to nothing. He's actually able to sort of group up into this fight. For Peps now, really having to give up a lot of space because of it. Like, obviously Enzo's been able to group up with the rest of his team, but Peps have also gone away from holding this like corridor hold and disengaged completely to the point the Heretics might just walk onto the objective and take it.
I mean, Frankie's down. Baby Bat does have invisible boundary, but it's a reliance on Jeff ultimate first, since you know that Tanuki has the Dance of the Butterflies, and you have to hold it. But no, the pressure comes on through. Invisible boundary comes out from the side of Team Peps, and I mean, Heretics, they're just going to play outside of it. They're going to wait for it to be done, and then come through with Cosmic Count Amplifier to sweep the eliminations, and still have Dance of the Butterflies for the fight that happens after.
And Song being held out. Is Six going to use it to try and go in or disengage? It's broken nonetheless. That he's trying to escape, a Beetle's chasing him down to make sure that they stall out this fight just a little bit more. Team Peps on these disengages have been punished, and more time is being bought up from Heretics. The good news for Peps, though, is that you are 90% on the point. You have a little bit of a window to build up some of these ultimates, and Pink has just got the Dance of the Butterflies online.
I mean, the bad news, though, is the amount of ultimates that Heretics are going to have access to. If you're Team Peps, like, ideally, you want to just force as many ultimates from the side of your opponent as possible before they hit last fight territory and win the overtime fight. Tanuki comes on through of Dance of the Butterflies, punishing the fact that Peps are totally lacking strategists and having to rely instead on stacking their players to absorb that damage. They still lose the Jeff as well, and losing that Jeff means losing those healing bubbles to have the speed boost to disengage easily. Team Heretics, they're just pushing for more. Beetle uses the Freedom Charge. Full sends it towards Peps' own spawn.
I mean, if there's a team to full send it with, it's the likes of like Enzo to be able to play off of. Naga also does have the Galactic Legend. If there is a bit more of a fight back, Enzo built up the Banhammer, using it again. Like, again, he's not really that afraid to use the ultimates as they build them up. Instead of allocating them and trying to group them together, it's just if you get it, send it as much as you possibly can. You've got Oasis that's sat back with the It's Jeff if it is required, but Team Peps also having to use their own Banhammer on cooldown now, able to not get too much. It's more of a scrappy engagement as Heaven's Retribution has brought the fight to the ground, but Naga up in the sky has grabbed things into the air. See if you can go for the duel as the Angela has tried to really distort him as much as possible, as it's going to be an It's Jeff used on the other side. 4 people pulled off from Protoss as the point is being actually flipped over for Peps.
Nice.
Wait, that's huge. Protoss gets the edge. Jeff, absolutely massive clutch. Six is going to be
Absolutely
able to
massive.
the portal, and Team Peps are back onto the point. Team Heretics, do they get an opportunity? Like, they're sending Oasis and Alex to stall for Enzo to get the portal through. But I mean, Frankie boxing on the Angela might just be able to body block it if it even comes in time. And no, Team Peps are able to clutch it out. Protoss, what a play. We go the distance. We go to Warrior Falls.
It was up on the high ground.
Our
as well,
first
right? That was the,
1-1 game.
Second It's Jeff ultimate that we saw that was like a little bit elevated, and it really did seem to catch Heretics by surprise.
Our first 1-1 game.
Heretics had such a good game plan too. Like, there's method in the madness for why they're taking the fights in so many different locations. It means that Baby Bat, like Invisible Woman, the healing, you generate your ultimate so quickly off of the pierce nature of your primary, right? So if everyone stacks up in one lane, you'll have Invisible Boundary up easily. Team Heretics were relying on taking Baby Bat down and popping Galactic Legend before Invisible Boundary could be built on the side of Team Peps. When we went into that overtime fight, lo and behold, Galactic Legend comes through, Baby Bat doesn't have ultimate, and it's up to Protoss to be able to save the day.
Lovely stuff. Protoss was a sub on this team because it was going to be Baby Bat and Ken with a backline. They played on Vice together in stage 2 of last year, but it is like a very recent like change up. This backline is working together considering that it seems to be a fairly recent switch up. So Heretics, it's gone to a third method to the madness, as you sort of mentioned. I mean, this team is like the nutty professor with how they want to take these engagements, and you have to look at Enzo to be the one that leads the line. It is him almost pulled off of the map. The Angela almost got to be dived back in, and the Wolverine has a go as Pink is actually sending him to the abyss. The Beer Back's going to bring him all the way into the engagement, but that Banhammer that he might have been able to farm up first, he has no chance.
Yeah, but Team Heretics still have all of the map space, because while all of that focus from the front line was onto Enzo, Beetle and Tanuki were flanking, taking the off angle and putting the pressure onto the backline to force the Invisible Boundary. Team Peps are able to keep themselves alive, however, and they do take Enzo out. This time, it sticks. Third time is indeed the charm, but Team Peps, unfortunately, not going to be able to open up with first point control. That goes the way of Team Heretics, and now the problems start. If you're trying to stop the dive composition, well, Tanuki's already got down to the butterflies, and you don't even have to pressure Invis Boundary out first. You can full send the Psylocke ultimate knowing it will find value.
And even if it doesn't, you've got a Galactic Legend that is more than likely going to follow very quickly afterwards. Freedom Charge might be the one thing that actually sends and catapults themselves into the backfight if they want. But Tanuki content to take the first pick. Baby Bat is the one that goes down.
Got two.
Naga is able to go for the
Got
reset.
three.
To the point that we actually seen Pink jump off the map to
This
go
is
for
where
a
we
quick
go.
reset. To not allocate any more ult charge towards the team that holds the point.
Not just that, but point percentage as well. Like, this dive composition with how quickly Team Heretics can just very quickly rotate and shape where they're pushing from, that's going to be a lot of fights that Team Peps have to be able to get through, which means a lot of point percentage taken away from them. It's a sneaky Galactic Legend play. It looks like Frankie Boxing can still potentially intercept it as Beetle actually goes on through the Freedom Charge. Protoss gets a huge eat yet again onto 2, but I mean, the pressure from the Galactic Legend shreds the Jeff's health down.
Enzo finds himself 2 picks as well. Banhammer is going to be the thing that clears up this fight. As Peps losing out on numbers, going to be pulled off of the map. Like, Pink is going to have to just reset. Frankie Boxing is also going to go down. More time stalled, and you're right, like, there's 25% left, and there has to be a little bit of posturing for Team Peps. Is there going to be any, like, comp changes so far, especially after ultimates were used? It seems like they're just sticking to it.
I mean, Frankie Boxing has Heaven's Retribution, but you're also on the Angela. You have to be able to get past Team Heretics' body block and get onto the objective itself. Heaven's Retribution tries to hit, punishing Team Heretics, getting aggressive and trying to
Star-Lord's
the back
really
line,
good.
hitting the high ground before Team Peps can drop off onto the low ground and start sweeping away that point control. They've been able to get onto the point, but so far no eliminations, and Team Heretics yet again are just splitting the fight into separate locations. Now it's overtime. Team Peps lose the opportunity to peel for the backline.
Enzo pulled off of the map again from Pink. But Naga is like, the way he's moving around the map, just disengaging. It seems that anytime he's a focus, he's out of the fight and then subtly finds his way back into the fray. So now Heretics have a good position to be holding on to. Peps looking to actually take the control of the point for the first time so far over on this battleground. But Tanuki in the back has found himself 6. You got a Yan Amplifier that's going to increase some of the damage that's thrown out from Heretics. Now they can be a lot more selective. It's Jeff from Protoss going to be used. Not quite going to be able to grab onto 4 at this point, but the Galactic Legend has been built up so quickly from Naga that he's able to keep pace at it. He finds himself 2. Peps have found control of the objective, but it is going to be a quick switch around. Team Peps, Portal has to come in from 6. There's no other ultimates that is going to be at hand to work with. And Enzo now, Banhammer, surely just finds the targets as they make their way onto the objective. Beetle can keep this fight sustained for them in favor with the Freedom Charge. And because it's back in favor of Heretics, it's not like it's still chipping forward for Peps.
Team Heretics as well, they just invade the backline, baby. That falls. Now you're relying solely on jet fuels. So the moment Protoss has to go for the reload, players from Peps will fall. It is inevitable. As is the round ending in the favor for Team Heretics at that point. A stumble on Stellar Spaceport off of the map quite literally, but pulling it back with Warrior Falls.
And a good showing, I suppose, of the new fresh-faced players, I suppose, in the Team Heretics jersey. But most certainly I was going to mention Naga anyway. Like him coming over from Na'Vi into this team, the way that he's able to just sort of play that more like sort of hit scan character, allowing Tanuki to be on the more like flexible roles, playing some of the more like melee-centric characters. Naga was so good at just when he wanted to use those ultimates, how easily he played off all of the other players. And quite rightly, a good MVP to be giving him on his first showing in Team Heretics.
I mean, Team Heretics just had such a good idea of space. Like,
come on, Peps, what are we doing? What is we doing, bro?
Weird, right? Why are both teams trying to go for a strange teleport play? Well, Team Peps, it makes more sense for them to go for a strange teleport play because they have invisible boundary. They want to port onto the point so they can use it as a fortress for the invisible boundary to claw up their first point control, as well as be able to play that backline.
That's just super unfortunate.
So Team Heretics have
super unfortunate, bro. Oh, man. I was rooting for you, Peps. Come on, I was rooting for you.
You'll need a top-notch team to win this one.
With me on the front lines, we can't lose. You know, unless we do.
Agent of...
My strategy? Dive.
Agent of one.
Wait, please.
I'm going in.
Why not, right? Why not?
I grew up without a community. Target Division has become my home.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
Relay deployed. It ain't cheap.
Super
I've
unfortunate.
got huge gaps in my intel when it comes to Krakoa. Care to fill them in, Miss Frost?
Information is a valuable commodity in this home.
True. Some knowledge is even more precious than diamond.
No. The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You need to stop that vehicle in its tracks.
My students aren't here to witness this lesson.
Run, Fox, run! Spirit steadies.
Someone scratch my back.
Nice finish.
I was fine, but thank you.
I don't fear I'm hit! Cover me! Fox awakens! Run, Fox, run! Namor has gone. The tide recedes.
Damn.
Better stop that vehicle.
What up, Shishiro?
I've survived so much.
How you
worse.
doing, bud? Hope you're good.
They've
think I picked Pepsi because it sounded like Pepsi. I don't know.
How refreshing.
There's still a chance to stop them.
Run, run! Someone scratch my back.
I was in trouble.
They hit a checkpoint. Now might be a good time to stop them.
Well, that's better.
Yeah, I got that. Doing good things. That's good, bro. That's good. That's good.
I'm
Waiting to bring out
I'll
9.
be more sly this time.
Haven't really played this character that much, but I mean, like I said, she's okay. She's not the best, but she's okay. I think I'd unironically rather be Jeff than her.
I was fine.
Us against the world.
I'm hit.
I'm hit. Cover me. There's still a chance to stop them.
Okay, now the claws come out.
Better stop that vehicle.
Fox awakens. Back in the hunt.
They hit a checkpoint. Now might be a good time to stop them.
Judge, jury, executioner!
Enemy located.
Better stop that vehicle.
Much better. It seems we have company.
I'm gonna figure out where to do my ult. Wow, we both did it at the same exact time. I just turned into Ninetales, don't mind me.
Good timing. Perfect synergy.
Yeah, you can join Shishira.
Sustained. Need assistance.
You stopped them in their tracks.
Back in the hunt.
I played a couple. The ranked game was bad, but the quick play's alright. Holy.
It seems we have company.
Don't let them through. That's much better. Anyone willing to help?
I'm a sitting duck.
Run, Fox, run!
Why does he go for me? What is that crosshair?
I've survived so much
It's
worse.
now or never. Stop them.
I mean, she's good for like triple support. No, she ain't best.
Much better.
Us against the world. Don't give them another chance.
And they brought out Moon. Oof.
Okay, now the claws come out. Run, Fox, run! Feeling fantastic. My knees are shooting. You'll have to hit harder. Run, Fox, run! Fantastic!
Brother. Like, she's okay. She ain't great. I don't get why people rave about her. She's meh. Alright. We're gonna get some people up in here. Alright, sounds good, bro. Sounds good, sounds good. There. Alright, Shishiro. Shishiro. What was the name again? What was the name again? You're gonna have to tell me. Bam, bam. Minigame? Okay. Just the way. That was wrong. My name is Super Daddy. Excuse me? Super Daddy is your name? What are we doing? Super. All right, hold on. Give me 1 second here. Give me 1 second here. Boom. That's that name. Put that down. You finish your game. Boom, boom. Okay, okay, okay. You in here. And then super. Tell me when you're back, brother. In the meantime, let's put this on. Why is there no sound?
Elimination blocks some of the damage at the very least, but there's still more to come in from Team Peps, who are actually making good headway on this so far. The dive is going to be good enough to force out the invisible boundary on the other side. Peps take a moment to try to regroup themselves, and then the forward offense is going to happen right just before this first checkpoint. Team Heretics are a little bit of free fall at the moment as they're staggering players one after the other. Beetle is finally
come on, Peps, we got this.
Stall out things for the time being, but there's no move over towards the Strange just yet. The numbers
they got a brute
there,
Wolverine, Mag, Phoenix.
One at a time. A really well played first point on this. Tanuki's actually going to be forced out to use the Dancing Butterfly, but there's so many players from Team Peps grouped up together. It really was just a case of Enzo being able to stall it out. Frankie Boxing's even going to go through the portal to try and fight this to push it back, and first point is taken. Really well played from Peps.
Yeah, Dance of the Butterflies as well from Tanuki, which means he's not counted as contesting the objective. So Peps are able to use Invisible Boundary, live the Psylocke ultimate, and pick up the checkpoint all in one go. Ooh, that was a risk. Alex with the Force Physics almost grabbing Team Peps a little bit too far forward, but it's the Vanguards who were caught, not squishy, so they'll be able to stabilize as we get now Team Heretics moving Alex over to the Invisible Woman instead. Oasis should probably get targeted by the Meteor, and the moment that it's Jeff ends as Six actually catches Tanuki, and Team Heretics are lacking a duelist, which opens the floodgates for Team Peps to get aggressive.
The leap in comes through.
They have a
There's another
Mantis
Royal
and a
Flush of Protoss
Jeff
is built up
for
so
heals.
quick. In fact, this
They have a
Blade
Mantis
still
and a
going
Jeff for heals
Peps,
on the
and
blue
they're
team.
making so much progress happen. There was a fight for
Team
Heretics
Heretic.
to stall it out for a brief stint, but Team Peps not only able to win out the fight here, but getting past one of the most like annoying, irritating parts of the map to actually get through, which is just up this like
ew.
It's the steep end, I suppose.
Brother,
like second point, able to get through without any contest as Heretics have to regroup.
I mean, Beetle's going to actually swap over to
I
the
can't
Captain
invite
America
you,
just to go
Super
onto the
Dad.
point and try and stall it out, allowing the rest of the team a little bit more freedom
fact, I
to be able
can't
to
invite
walk
you.
away from these separate
Going on, bro.
lanes. Enzo's going to be a problem that Team Peps have to clear out, given how close he is to that banhammer, as Tanuki goes to show what exactly happens to a Groot who is just firewood in the 1v1 against that Psylocke. As Team Peps,
I'm on
the
now.
moment Team Heretics went for the swaps, they lost control of the map space, and now we actually have double duelists as opposed to Tanuki relying solely on things like the Mantis damage boost to keep Heretics in play. They're going to be able to have a lot more of a higher stake in holding the space permanently.
Still says I
think
can't
he
invite
switched
you,
over
bro.
towards the Nemo as well, so like actual fast changes. Like Peps are keeping pace with this. Like they're not just going, oh, this is the way that we want to play it and it's do or die. It really is that they're gonna try and adjust as things happen. Unfortunately, however, they lose ping. Now it's gonna come down with the end. Song Inferno is able to catch two, so Peps having to try and regroup, not stall this out too much, and Heretics not only gaining control of the objective, they have so many
ask for an invite.
back on.
Yeah, great funneling. Beetle very much calling out the
Infamous
rotation from
RKO
Peps when they
22
try and
all
take
caps,
those
ask for an
staircases.
invite.
Naga knowing that he can go for that end Song Inferno, have the greater summon health
You
as
must
well
have
as that
something on
low
your,
ceiling, meaning that
whole
Peps just
thing.
weren't able to burn through the summon before it hit the ground. And now Heretics, they just continue disrupting the walk up. Banhammer comes on through from Enzo.
Oh, never mind,
They
never
hit
mind, never
onto
mind,
the
I got
backline
you, I
from
got you,
both
I got
Beetle and Tanuki, and Team Peps just disintegrate beneath the focus fire coming on through from Team Heretics' side.
And Peps, all of that like momentum that they were able to sort of build off has kind of dissipated for the time being. Even like building up towards the
Phoenix
ultimate,
is so
which I think
good,
was
bro.
switched over 90 seconds ago, still like 70% on the way of having a Horn of Proteus.
I'm about tired of her just moaning in my ear, bro. All right, you folks ready? You folks ready? I'm not in game chat, bud. What's going on, Jace? Oh, shit. Is the reunion good, Jace? Only all right. I thought you would love it. Hold on. Noah, you didn't have to do that. Thank you for the galaxy, man. You didn't have to do that, bro. W Noah. W Noah, man. I appreciate you, dog.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
Holy shit.
And, you know, you're not... So you just wave those jacked up hands of yours around and, poof.
My spells
Why is your goal?
require very precise hand motions to cast correctly.
I don't know why it's still up. I'll get rid of it.
The battle
I'll get rid
starts
of
in
my
5,
goal.
4, 3, 2, 1. All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
You didn't really think I would let you jerks have all the fun without me, did ya?
I'll just... There.
Oh, look at...
Time for some fire. Squirrels versus spiders. Squirrels win. Looks like the mission area is yours to capture now. They captured the mission area.
Absolute dookie. Jace, thank you for the rose, man.
I will never allow Krakoa to suffer the same fate as Genosha.
Here comes Headpool!
You're up, little one.
Does it look like bonus damage?
It seems we have company. Much better.
These mechanical arachnids are no more.
Their team's capture progress has passed the halfway point.
Brother, ew.
Nine's in play.
A timely intervention.
That's much better.
I shall not be removed so easily.
Anyone willing to help?
I can't beat it.
It's spider time!
These mechanical arachnids are no more.
My friends are here! Us against the world!
I don't have my all either.
You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner.
Glad someone brought protection.
Clearly you needed some help.
Hope I make the cut!
Take everything!
I feel like myself again.
Ready? That's launch!
I'm a bit rusty. God damn. With Mag at least. I'm not used to playing tank.
Be wary. No timeline exists where Magneto yields.
I could go Thor.
Seconds before you attack. Get
No,
ready.
I want to go Angel.
I am the... I was exiled from Asgard as a youth. Now, I would lay down my life to save it.
Please tell me your catchphrase isn't really about eating nuts.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2.
What do you mean, no?
All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
The time for pageantry has come to an end already. A shame. Our enemies are near. I unleash barely wounded. Power. My power grows. Judge, jury, executioner!
Oh, man.
Clearly you needed some help.
That does boot him up so goofy.
I am Thor Odinson, god of thunder. can continue without Thor. Awaken the rage of battle. Twas put to scratch. Slow down. I can hear some. Awaken the rage of battle.
Us against the world!
Yeah, you would run away to heal.
Their team's capture progress has passed the halfway point.
Battle Fury burn.
They've almost got it! Control C's!
Twas put to scratch. The enemy is here.
Shouldn't have broken him.
Slow down.
Enemy located.
Battle Fury burn.
You would have someone pocket healing you too.
Do your worst.
Judge!
Jury! Execution!
Oh. We want y'all to go out there, bro.
Hope I make the cut! That won't be so kind.
My power grows. Twas put to scratch. Behold the god of thunder!
No way, dude.
Glory is almost yours!
All that just for me? Funny, dude.
My life was in peril.
I'll do my best to carry on, Reed.
To
But it won't be
battle
easy.
again.
They're taking from the left. Keep fighting until we have a winner.
Jeff.
Shielded from harm. I unleash the Vishanti's power.
Punisher is assuming quite the weapon.
Slow down.
Win this is together.
Didn't even see her, I'm gonna be honest with you.
I will dare the very gates of hell
X-Men
to
cartoon
save
theme as
Asgard.
close as possible without legal issues. F that!
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
Dang, they O2'd him. They O2'd him.
Look as though you have an
Come on,
important
Pep. What are we
question,
doing?
Your stretching ability can make things bigger, right? Does it work on your, I don't know, like,
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
This crisis is stretching me to my limits. And that's saying something.
Our enemies are near. The wrath of Asgard.
Us against the world!
Damn.
Looks like the mission area is yours to capture now.
Heals.
Small victories are
Heal me. Oh, jeez.
I suppose that helps.
All right, no, I'll see you later. Thank you for the galaxy, bro. You know you didn't have to do that. Nah, I appreciate you, bro. Thank you.
Odinson, god of thunder.
Aw.
Falls to the sorcerer. Lightning can fight. Careful, or we're gonna get it from behind.
Shields up.
I am barely wounded. I unleash the Vishanti.
Behold that child!
Defeat by Dr.
Problem solved!
Mjolnir strikes a heavy blow.
The only
Bruh. Jeff.
There's a loot I can't do bonus
Look out behind us.
Hope I make Release the Glortrox!
Behold the god of thunder. I am barely wounded. Lightning can fight.
You captured more than half of the mission area. Get the one.
No way. Games have been alright.
Control lost. Their team's capture progress has passed the halfway point.
Again.
Bum, bum.
all eyes over here.
Oh my god, they're portaling.
I got you. They've almost got it.
Lightning can fight. I am barely wounded.
Anyone willing to help? Not that cake. Defeat the line. Got you. Let's go.
Slow down.
Problem solved!
No! Excuse me? Yeah. No. What are you doing?
Double KO.
I unleash the to battle again.
Well, you can't expect
My
to win them all.
mojo. Oh man, dude. One second, real quick. Give me 1 second. Yeah.